Hello, everyone. Welcome to the great returnal of Press Eddie.
Episode 69.
Bing, bing, bing.
What we've been waiting for.
Wait, hold up.
Wait, we got it.
Come on. Here we go. Yeah.
We just got to get a separate pad.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Just for horns.
We could be an actual radio program and have the new 106.
Yeah. And date ourselves immediately.
Weenie in the butt.
97.1. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
Weenie in
The butt.
We should do
Oh
a
my
bad
God.
radio episode like that. That'd be funny as shit.
Everyone would hate us. Everyone would hate us. So,
Catch hot dogs.
you guys, there is quite a lot of anticipation for this episode because
Edging, if you will.
edging, if you will, all the way to the greatest movie of 2022.
easily.
We will be talking about Morbius later on the show.
Oscars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, you want to talk Razzies?
You want to talk about sweeping the Oscars, bro? It's Jared Leto this year.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be slapping
I was
motherfuckers in
about
the
to
face
say,
left and right.
what Will Smith shit is he gonna pull at the Oscars?
Yeah. And then we got some small stuff. Well, not small stuff. Kind of earth-shattering stuff.
Ezra Miller would slap.
Yo,
slap him
for
in the
sure.
face.
You wouldn't see it coming though, because he's the Flash. You'd be like, ah, why is my face hurt all of a sudden?
There'd be some bad effect on the camera that you still see.
Look right here, and it's frozen. You just see Ezra Miller slap.
Like in The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Go for second. Go for second.
Slow down.
All right. Then we had the PlayStation subscription service.
Huge news.
Kind of news.
News.
No, this is the most news thing. We have some LeBron James news, and then
for
we
LeBron.
have some Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Shit, I
Haven't
forgot
been able
about
to use that since Space Jam 2. Joe installed it for Space Jam 2, and that was it.
You could call it by its full name, please.
Oh,
A new legacy.
Is that it? Oh, sorry.
Electric
Sorry.
Boogaloo.
The return of Algae Rhythm.
He's back.
He's back.
Game of Thrones prequel got announced. I didn't know that there was a teaser trailer for it.
Yeah. The teaser trailer came out a couple of months ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't
then
know that was Matt Smith either.
Yeah.
And-
I didn't know until seeing Morbius.
Me
I
either,
was
but
just
now
like,
I
oh,
will
that's
watch
the guy.
this.
Yeah,
Now because he's
yeah.
the best part of Morbius, which is weird, but
Which is
either way.
strange to say,
So,
but yeah.
listen, you know my complicated history with Game of Thrones, all right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to take the lead on this one.
Every fan of Game of Thrones has a complicated history now with Game of Thrones, but it's
Sure.
It's still it's complicated. It always is.
Here we go again. Anyway, so
I got-
tell me
I got-
about
I
this
got
Game of
thoughts.
Thrones prequel.
Oh, we want to kick off with Game of
Yeah,
Thrones
let's
prequel?
do it. Yeah, we're doing it.
So here's the good thing about the Game of Thrones prequel. There's going to be more incest. If you
Nice.
thought there was too much incest in Game of Thrones, this takes place 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones, when the
Before incest was taboo.
Dude, oh no, actually, legitimately before it was taboo.
Dun dun dun.
The
dun,
Targaryens,
dun.
which is where Daenerys, the golden-haired,
I've
or
never
the
seen a
Dude, the,
So-
the chick.
so
the who's playing Daenerys?
so Daenerys doesn't exist
Oh,
right now.
Then
yeah.
why do they make a character look exactly like Daenerys?
So that's the thing with the
Incest.
Targaryens. Incest. They, in order to keep the bloodline pure, it's just incest.
Daenerys is so much hotter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
No one's denying.
Pre-incest.
Post-incest.
Post-cest.
Mid-incest.
Mid-cest.
Mid-cest.
Roll Tide.
But so
Everywhere there is cest,
there's nothing but cest.
nothing but cest.
And so this show is going to ooze cest. It is
Yes.
going to be nonstop.
It's
how
a
they're billing
cest
it?
fest,
It's-
if you will.
it's a cest
It's
fest.
a cest fest.
House of the Dragon, cest fest.
The first episode is going to be like,
Unlocked.
oh, stepbrother, please don't try to take the Iron
Stepdragon.
Throne
Yeah.
as I bend over it.
And then and there's more swords.
Yeah.
They added swords to the Iron
Wait,
Throne.
did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Swords
yeah.
fell off in the
So-
over the years.
Exactly. Yeah, it lost swords.
Oh,
like
that
teeth.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
It kind of happens.
Some
Yeah.
accidental beheadings happened.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Yeah.
When the
Need a
throne was
sword.
24, it had gingivitis. So they had to really scrub in between those swords.
They had to take out
They
some
had to
teeth.
take out some
it was
fucking
a damn.
swords.
It was a damn shame. It's not a joke. My gums were bleeding. It was so bad.
Sorry.
So
It was
anyway,
just right there. Was no one going to take it?
But yeah, so this particular House of the Dragon is going to take place in what's known as the Dance of the Dragons, which was the first Targaryen civil war, and it's also known as the Dying of the Dragons because it's going to be dragon on dragon fighting because their dragons are running rampant in the world now.
Nice.
Every Targaryen has a dragon, and they're just riding them
it's like how to
into
train
each
your
other.
dragon.
Matt Smith
Kinda,
says he
yeah,
rides
yeah,
the
yeah.
angriest one in the show.
I think so. Yeah.
Jared Leto.
Yes.
Jared Leto. It's a
The
Jared Leto
angriest
dragon.
is Jared Leto.
What's the matter?
I felt something behind me.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
Goat? Shit. Is that stink bug back? I legitimately felt
It's the
something
ghost
touch my
of the
head.
stink bug.
Oh,
Could
really?
be. Yeah.
That's crazy. We'll have to
nothing
check the
nothing did.
playback.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at you.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
All right, calm down.
All right.
But either or. So what we're gonna get is more incest sex. Awesome. Everyone's a big fan of that.
Yes.
And then what everyone else also wants is going to be more dragons and more dragons fighting each other.
For sure.
Dragons fucking?
Possibly. I don't know.
Incest dragon.
Dragon
I've
incest?
incest
I mean,
dragons.
pretty much all dogs are brothers and sisters, right?
At the end of the day, yeah.
All dogs are boys.
Cats
are
are
girls. Yeah, that's
Get it
right.
right.
Sorry.
But either or, I think it. And so one of the showrunners is there. What's the guy's name? Ryan Conrad or something like that. Ryan Condal. He did like Rampage, which I had never seen, but I don't know if that's
Wait,
any good.
Rampage,
see
like,
Rampage?
2018 Rampage.
The Rock?
Yeah, he directed that.
and he's show running
And
this.
so he's one of the showrunners for this. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's a different medium. It's different material. It could be fucking great.
It could work out.
It could be
It's
amazing.
HBO.
It could work. It could also be horrific.
But I saw
Have more
Rampage.
money.
And so then the other showrunner is this guy Miguel Sapochnik. Sapochnik? I don't know his name, but
Say it one more time.
Sapochnik?
Sapochnik.
That's definitely a Star Wars character.
Oh, da chula Sapochnik. But so this guy actually
Lord Sapochnik.
I gotta look at
Darth
the spelling of it.
Sapochnik. But so this guy directed a couple episodes of Game of Thrones, and he won an Emmy for directing Battle of the Bastards, which is one of the best Game of Thrones episodes of all time. Before it all went downhill.
Oh, he directed that.
He directed that. Yeah,
Okay.
he directed that, and then, however, he also directed The Long Night, which is the one where you couldn't see shit in season 8.
Well,
so.
I think on the TV show, the directors, they're there to elevate the material and make sure the day is moving forward.
he
right?
didn't write it.
Yeah,
he didn't
they're
write
not,
it.
and even
Yeah.
then, the showrunners are, they can. I mean, I don't gotta tell you, they can immediately just be like, "Hey, no."
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you know what I
and
mean.
that's probably what
So,
they did
yeah.
to a lot of it. I mean, it's
Sapochnik.
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 I wasn't too
You were
off.
pretty close.
Sapoknik.
Oh.
That's an alternate.
Sapoknik.
Seapuknik.
I like
That
the
one I
first
definitely didn't get. I like the first one better because I was closest to that one.
Sapochnik.
But I was reading a little bit about like what happens like in like the books or whatever during Dance of the Dragons. There's one scene where it's two like factoring sides of the Targaryens fighting for the throne. One of the sides, I think it's actually Matt Reeves' character, hires two like mercenaries.
Matt Smith.
Oh, Matt Smith. Sorry, Matt Reeves. Completely different. Either
I'd
or.
be cool with that.
That would be cool though. So I think he hires these two mercenaries to kidnap the children of like the king and queen and hold them hostage, and then forces the queen to choose one of them to kill. And the queen makes her choice, and they end up killing the other one.
Like Batman.
Does that happen in Batman?
In Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
They're probably
So-
just most concerned, like, oh shit, how do I have incest if my kids are
Exactly.
on Avenue X.
Well, so-
just past Fifth.
So
Just past Fifth. Yeah.
But yes, pretty
good.
So basically, yeah. So what they're doing is eliminating their betrothed. It was like, I'm gonna kill your brothers, then you got nobody to marry. And that's the
Now
whole
you got no
plot line.
family and no love.
You got no love, no family, no future.
This is what happens when you put everything in the incest basket.
This is what happens when you live in Alabama.
What in the Alabama?
But yeah, so I'm excited, but cautiously. based off of what happened to Game of Thrones.
Based off of the guy's previous work, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, then again, also nobody knew who DB and Dave were when they took over, and they had a good run, a good 6-season run, and then they pooped on it. So as long as they can cut it early and knock it off before it gets bad, then I think we might have a decent show.
Okay. If you say so, you're the Game of Thrones guy. Literally nobody here watches it. And like I said, I got through the first season and a half, and it was literally the middle of that middle episode, like episode 5. They're like 10-episode seasons, right?
Yeah.
So like episode 5, it was when Robb Stark is like crossing the whatever with the army and the ship, and he was banging some girl in his bed, and I literally paused on that frame and just never went back.
I mean, it
Why did you pause
gets
right on that
really
frame?
good.
I was just bored.
after
You
that.
You know why he paused on that frame.
Yeah, I was just bored.
paused and I stared at that frame for 5 minutes.
That's why you got the new TV. The image was burned
Exactly,
into the
the
screen.
image was so clear and so up in his face that he couldn't handle it anymore.
You guys really think that TV's huge, don't you?
It's fucking massive.
It's funny because
massive.
like I don't have the eyes for it anymore. You know, to me it's like it fits like a glove. You know what I mean? But I guess people who aren't in here are like, this
It is
fucking
half
TV.
the length of the wall.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. And again, is 7 feet from the couch. But with the sync factor, it adds in 3 feet. So that's 10 feet away. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you, when you were watching Game of Thrones, was it difficult to follow all the characters because their names and stuff like that?
No, I mean like
Okay.
I have a difficulty following names of characters anyway. So I just do like, oh, that's the jacket guy, or that's the dude with the weird ears, or like
Okay.
I recognize them by that's Nathan Fillion. You know, like that's how I'll do it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But like if I'm
Is
watching
Nathan
Star
Fillion in Game
Wars
of Thrones?
or Marvel or
Is he?
no, but he's on a lot of TV shows.
That would be interesting.
Either way though, my point is just like, I don't know. It wasn't hard to follow. I just wasn't into it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
one thing that I will say with this one, there's going to be more characters that have similar names and look exactly the same. I'm going to even have trouble following all the characters on this one, most
Awesome.
likely. Yeah. So it's like Rhaenys and Viserys and Visenius and Aegon. It's
Dude,
all the names are the
vasectomy.
same.
I have a hard time-
Vasectomy, and they're all blonde. No,
You
sorry,
know
not
who
blonde,
I remember
like
from The
silver hair.
Witcher? Geralt. The other one is Yennefer.
Yennefer.
And sometimes I think of the wrong person when I say her name.
Yennefer or Yen.
And
or
then
what was the
Ciri.
redheaded?
I know Ciri.
What was the
and
redheaded?
Vormir?
Triss.
Is it Vormir?
Varamir?
Varamir?
The old guy.
Your old
the
guy.
old guy.
Great podcast.
Yeah. Like
Let's
Incredible
name
radio.
all of the characters in this TV show.
Friends. Joey, female Joey, Lady Joey, not funny Joey, Courtney Cox,
Coffee Joey.
Coffee Joey, Paul Rudd. He's
Paul
in that
Rudd. There we
show.
go. Yeah,
See,
Paul
I don't
Rudd.
know his
There we
character in
go.
that show, but I know Paul
But it's
Rudd's
Paul Rudd.
in that show.
All you need to know is Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm excited. It's going to be confusing, but there's going to be some incest, and that's fun, and everyone likes that.
Cool. Awesome.
That's
Well,
That's House of the Dragon.
I'm
Most,
into it.
the most
I'm s-
popular genre of porn.
dude, so like I did this.
I typed in stepmom porn, something I just do all the time.
One of my favorite bits to piss off the Game of Thrones fans, especially before season 7 and 8 happened, was I used to say like, dude, I don't understand Game of Thrones. Like the whole show is just based on like they pushed that kid out a window because what, they found out that brothers and sisters were fucking.
Yeah.
Like that's what I used to say. And the one time somebody bit, they were like, you have a very reductionist view of that show. And I was like, yes,
Now-
give me more.
now
This is
here
what
we
I'm
are
looking
doing the
for.
podcast.
Your ears just perked up.
It's just like,
And then like one guy actually texts me back and he just goes, let's just be honest, Pat, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't watched the show. I was like, perfect. This is awesome. I was like,
But no, you're not wrong. That's what the show is based on.
and now
but
that I hear all of this, I'm just like, yeah, dude, the whole events of
No.
this show is always driven by incest in families. Don't tell
Yeah.
me otherwise.
yeah,
The inciting event is him catching people having sex and they push him out of a window.
yeah,
That's
Look,
the end of the
There was
first episode of
nothing
Game
else
of Thrones.
to do back then, okay? Like,
Yeah, really.
you had a sister.
They didn't,
What
even,
else are you gonna
they didn't even have hoop and a stick yet.
Yeah.
they had cold castle, straw, and sisters.
and that's
all you have in Game of Thrones.
not in that order.
All right. Well, that's enough of that. LeBron James won a Razzie for worst actor in Space
Good
Jam.
for
A New
LeBron.
Legacy.
We're happy for LeBron. We're glad that he got his recognition that he deserves.
Yeah.
Finally. He sucked ass.
Yeah, he was really bad. And you know what? For a guy that that kid who was in the Jungle Book, that kid acted green screens too, and he was still better than LeBron James was.
LeBron James acted with real people though, like the kids. He had no chemistry with those children.
There's a really funny
And
thing.
they were his real children.
So he took home worst actor and then worst screen couple. The latter for, quote, any Warner cartoon character or Time Warner product he dribbles on. So they just gave him a couple award with every animated character.
I was wondering who the other person was. I was like, is it Bugs? Is it Daffy?
Is
Like,
it his wife?
Literally anybody in the movie. It's just
Al G Rhythm.
I love that the Razzies just make up awards
Yeah.
for each season. That's hysterical. But yeah, he was bad. He was so
He was
bad.
really
He
bad.
made Michael Jordan look like a true professional.
Yeah. And the best part is that Michael
Jordan is a true professional.
As an actor.
the best part is Michael Jordan was not really trying to act in Space Jam.
That's
That's what made it great.
That's what made it great.
But
exactly.
Michael Jordan was also, I'm pretty sure he was convinced he was just on every commercial he had been doing up until that
Did he
point.
do commercials before that?
For sure.
Because I think about what year was the original Space Jam?
96.
96.
Yeah.
All those commercials that we grew up with, like he did Hanes, he did Gillette, like those were all mid 2000s.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan was, before we were born, Michael Jordan was still the biggest basketball
Yeah.
star
There's a
of all
lot-
time.
there's a
And
lot
he
of
was on
90s.
but he was the spokesperson of Nike
Yeah,
in
I don't- but-
1989.
But he wasn't like I'm gonna say this with all due respect. He wasn't like a TV commercial whore like he was
Like
in
Shaq?
the 2000s.
No, he pretty much was. If I'm
No,
looking at,
yeah,
I think
I
he
would.
was.
I would.
I think
Any
he was.
athlete at that level is
Yeah.
like, dude, how
like
many
Gatorade,
I was gonna say,
running on the
Gatorade,
cold brew, dude? All right,
Jordan.
on the cold brew.
like how many times?
Case
Like,
in point.
okay,
I wanna-
like
but they're all like sports related products though.
Well, yeah,
They
I
make
mean, like
sense.
most of the things that like Shaq
Okay, all right. Now
peddles
hold on.
is
Gentle treatment hair
General
commercial. Okay,
Treatment
now
hair
we're getting into
commercial,
different
more of his
territory.
Air Jordans. Larry and Michael playing horse, which I don't know. Oh, it's for McDonald's.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was big on McDonald's.
McDonald's
Yeah.
is definitely
92, so
not
that's
for
like-
athletes.
No. But back then in the
All right.
90s,
I would
every
agree
athlete
with
was
you.
signing up for a
Right, well, I
McDonald's
guess it's
commercial.
Oh, yeah,
we
for
grew
sure.
up in the
Yeah,
90s,
for sure.
2000. So yeah, that was just more of a perception thing.
But no, he was still massive before Space Jam came out. If anything, Space Jam somehow made him
I'm
bigger.
not saying like nobody knew who Michael Jordan was before,
He was
before
obscure.
Space
Three-
Jam.
Three-time NBA champion. No one knew who he was until
I'm
he
just
was
saying,
dribbling with
he was-
Bugs Bunny.
He was
Sign that man.
cranking
He
out
can out
commercials.
dribble Daffy Duck.
But like
Give
you
this
guys,
man a love story with Daphne Duck.
Daphne Duck.
What did I say? Daphne
Daphne.
Duck.
You see the way that
I like
Lola
it.
looks
I
at
meant
him?
Lola Bunny.
You see the
Why-
way that
why
Lola
haven't
that's
we
a look of
gotten that
trust.
yet?
Oh wait, that should be the worst remake. Is
What?
what they did to Lola?
Fair enough. Our queen.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Anyway,
Damn.
I had to find a way to end this conversation.
thank you.
We're all just like bow our heads in a moment of silence.
Speaking of silence, it was a resounding silence after the announcement of the PlayStation Plus subscription service.
I read an article maybe about 3 times. I still have no idea what the service is providing. I have no clue.
How could they? How poorly they communicated this to people is absolutely astounding. Like I have read this several times, and I still can't tell you without looking at this first what goes under what section.
I can
of
tell you there are 3
subscription.
tiers, and I don't
And
know
I
what
don't
any
know
of
what
them
any
do.
of them do. Yeah.
I got a breakdown here.
Oh, thank God.
So we have PlayStation Plus Essential. It's going to be $10 a month.
Okay.
You get everything that PlayStation Plus members are getting today, which I don't know too much. Do you know what you get for PlayStation Plus currently?
I haven't. I have no clue.
Well, we
what
were
I
actually
get.
just talking about today how one day I will fire up the
Fire it
console.
up.
I have 5 controllers for it.
You're just gonna see a cloud of dust come out of the exhaust fan.
So you get
This baby runs just fine.
There's definitely a cat in there.
Yeah, for sure.
it is just a cat. So you get 2 monthly download games, discounts, cloud storage, and online multiplayer.
for which
two
tier?
monthly
$10. Yeah, 2 monthly downloadable games. So I mean, it's worded in a way that it's probably going to be.
Hold on. Let's before we get into the
I'm
meat
on
and potatoes.
PlayStation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is their answer to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right. Which Nick just famously got rid of.
Ooh.
You heard it here first.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it myself
Yeah, there's
because
not
I
many
went.
I
I've been
used it
playing
like
on it
2
yet.
times,
Yeah.
3 times.
I mean, listen, you can go ebb and flow, like, but I mean, like, I'm gonna, even if I cancel it, I'm gonna go back because season 2 of Halo, like, they're
Yeah.
gonna add more things to Sea of Thieves. There's more Microsoft exclusives coming in the future, such as Hellblade 2, like that's gonna be day and date for Game
But,
Pass.
honestly, a lot of those the games that I do play that are on Game Pass are on Steam, and I'd rather just pay for it once rather than just having money drained from my bank account.
Well, it makes sense because we're paying like those kind of games aren't $60 AAA games. And if you were buying those kind of games all the time, Game Pass 100% makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. It's also, like I said, it's also like you can turn it off, and like Microsoft built in like a billing feature. You can just stop billing for a few months and not have any access to your games, and then turn the billing back on if you want. Like that's what I do. And like the other thing is that like
Wait.
all my Xbox consoles now run off, so I can hook up my Xbox One like anywhere, sign into my profile, and I can just download a game straight to it from Game Pass, and the data is shared between
All
them. It's
synced up,
cloud
yeah.
store, yeah. So
It's the cats in your machines talking to one another.
oh, okay. We're gonna run with this bit. All right, yeah.
So
I'm
go
down. I'm
a
down.
wire through the
Yeah.
vent, and then
Go ahead. I got 2 more consoles on there, so
And 12 more cats.
it's 12 more
yeah,
cats.
you
Yeah.
got plenty of cats to cover all these consoles.
For sure, dude. You just see me get in there. So this is their answer to Xbox Game Pass. Now, they thought they were going to do like a big rebrand, right? Yeah. Really? They just call it the all-new PlayStation Plus, which is basically their way of saying like, we're not changing any of the name and branding, because it really hasn't changed any branding at all. There's, this new image that they gave, but that's pretty much the logo, I'm pretty sure.
It's the
been
logo
updated.
that now just has like it like swivels.
Well, no, it's
on,
been
like
like that on
really?
on PS5 since launch. Because if you got
then they haven't.
PlayStation Plus at launch, you got 10 games like that were 10 out of 10s on PS4 that were all
okay.
optimized for PS5. I
So they
can't
didn't
reap
change
any of these
anything.
benefits because I just buy shit when it comes out.
No, I know.
But
All right, so
So-
there's 3 tiers.
Yeah.
Just like there's 3 tiers of Xbox. However, I feel like Xbox is way simpler than this.
I didn't even know there were
Small,
multiple
medium,
tiers.
large.
Yeah.
Well, yes, pretty much small, medium, large. Love it, like it, gotta have it. So, Xbox, I guess they could say they position theirs via hardware. So if it's like, if you just want PC, it's $10 a month. You got the whole fucking shit show. If you want PC and Xbox, because that also that turns into Xbox Live as well, it's $15 a month. And what's the bottom one? I think that's it.
I think
actually.
that's it. I think there's only
There's
two
only
tiers,
2
right?
tiers.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
there's nothing
Nice
for
and
like
simple.
$5.
Nice and simple.
nice and simple.
And like, here's the thing: is like at the point it was $10 a month. I was like $5 a month, and all of my Xbox consoles.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why would you not?
Why would I
Go
not?
for it.
So
How not?
How not?
How not? So then let's go through these 3 tiers of the all new PlayStation Plus. So the
Please,
first
someone
one
explain it to me.
is PlayStation Plus Essential. Okay. Now this provides the same benefits that PlayStation Plus members are getting today, like already. Like I already can do this. 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for saved games, and online multiplayer access.
This is just PlayStation Plus.
That's
essentially.
just
Like, they-
PlayStation.
okay.
That's just baseline
This-
$9.99
I already
a
have
month.
this.
Yes.
That's
If you- if
basically
you've
it.
been
Well,
playing-
no.
Well, if you've been playing with PlayStation Plus, this is
Hold
virtually
on.
the same shit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Okay, good point. I forget that this was PlayStation Plus is the online service. PlayStation Now was the old
Correct,
streaming
yeah.
that they got
Yes.
rid of.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
put these together. Okay, so this is everything you're already paying for. There are no changes for the existing PlayStation Plus members in this tier. So this is all the same. Like the price isn't
going
changing.
forward,
Okay.
can we just say PS instead of PlayStation? I don't want to hear you say that word ever again.
Okay.
In the last 5 minutes, we've said it
PlayStation.
too many times.
So now we're
PlayStation.
at the PS Plus
There we go.
Extra,
The PSS.
which all the benefits are everything from the last tier. So, your baseline.
Mm-hmm.
And then this adds a catalog of 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studio catalogs and third-party partners. Games in an extra tier are downloadable to play. This one is $15 a month.
What do I get different again?
400 games.
Okay.
It's just opening up a library.
Okay. For an extra $5 a month.
So wait, hold on. Do we know what games are available on the like baseline service? Like those two downloadable games?
I haven't seen an official list.
Yeah, but is it?
But
only
I would
like,
imagine it's the same. Like we could turn on my
Yeah.
PlayStation and go through it.
But would it be like only 50 games, and then like you're upgrading the tier to get 400 games, or is it
Well,
mainly
the
like the
first-
backwards compatibility of PS4?
The first PlayStation Plus, like the baseline,
Essential.
that's just like your service to get online, and there's 2 games that come out a month that you can download.
So you don't get the pick. It's just like here are available games that you get to download.
And you don't even get access to that library.
right.
So
So
then
this
the-
opens
Jesus
all that
Christ.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then an extra $5 opens up 400 titles.
Okay.
But for an extra $4 on top of your extra $5,
So an extra $9.
an extra $9 is the PlayStation Plus Premium. Provides all benefits of the essential and extra tiers. Adds up to an additional 340 games.
So now we're at 740
we're at 740 games.
Okay.
Including PS3 games available via cloud streaming. Now this made everyone very mad.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What are people upset about?
I don't know, dude. People are convinced that to play PS3 games, they got to be local. So they're like, why haven't they been working on PS3 emulation?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's just like they're mad because there's like you can't do backwards compatibility with a lot of different shit. Like PlayStation has not done that well.
Yeah.
So now they're like, you could have done this the whole time. You're doing this. It's just like a selling. It's you clearly want money, and it's like, of course, yeah.
Yeah, we are a company,
Yes,
and
right.
we're trying to make money.
It's shitty, yeah. But I mean, like
Yeah.
the entire used market gaming environment is horrible. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
And then we have a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations.
Yo,
There's a lot of PSP games I'd play.
Dude, there's some PS2
PS2.
games I definitely play. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. Now I'm interested.
This one's 18 a month, though.
How interested are you now?
Not as
Okay.
Interested?
I'm sorry.
18 a month. I
It's
don't know.
amazing how, like, $20 a month, you could just, all right, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, no, exactly. The amount of subscription services I already have, it's just like, son of a bitch, do I want to double this one just because?
Well, let me ask you a question. If they were offering games day and date like Game Pass, right? Like if you knew you were going to get God of War the day that it came out on this service, right? Would you stop buying video games and just supplement this instead? You know what I mean? Because like you have 700 games, the list only grows, and you're going to get day and date titles.
Yeah.
That would be a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
I've already switched to all digital. I'm not going back to buying physical copies.
I haven't
can't,
bought a
I can't
physical
buy a
copy of
physical
a game
copy.
in a long time.
I think Red Dead was the last. Yeah.
That was the last one.
But
yeah.
that's interesting to me that you buy physical copies of movies. It just seems like I know it's a different story, but I mean like
well, the reason I buy physical copies of movies is because that local file, like that bit rate, you can't get that from streaming. You can't get that from a downloaded copy. There's always that weird grayscale and compression. Like this is right there. Like you're getting the best version of that file possible. With
Games,
it's not the same because they create these games to be so fast to run on these SSDs. No disk is going to be able to read that fast enough. So those disks just act like keys to unlock the game on the hard drive to play. So there's really no point in having them anymore.
Which is why you have to download like gigs of files when you put a new game in.
And so on top of that, though, the reason I went all digital is because like I can buy 4 other PlayStation 5s, never play them, sign into it though, and log into my account and just download my whole game library. Like it's all in the cloud in Sony. You know what I mean? Like that's never going away. That infrastructure literally will never go away.
Hopefully.
No, I mean I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, no.
There's one thing that corporations love to do. That's stay around.
No, there's zero reason to buy a game anymore. To
Yeah.
like physically buy a hard copy of a game anymore.
Unless you want like the special
Now-
editions or like a physical.
Now
like,
Nintendo,
or
those
you like,
slimy
or you like to
bastards.
display
that,
and stuff
displays,
like that.
Now
yeah.
Nintendo's those slimy bastards. I'll always be buying physical copies of their games because you don't know when they'll just decide they don't want to sell something anymore.
they're the worst.
There's
That's
this-
who I was
I don't
specifically
know a
referring to
single-
with that used game market.
Yeah, I don't know a single a single other gaming developer that goes out of their way to limit digital copies of things.
Well, that's why all of the emulators, like the big emulators, are all for Nintendo shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, GameCube, Wii, like Game Boy, like they're all online and they're all perfect at this point because no one had any other option to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
realize Nintendo was that bad with their.
Yeah, and
They're just
Nintendo's
like, wow.
Nintendo's cloud service sucks too. So,
Oh.
yeah. You know, what are we going to do?
Do you guys,
They don't want to feed the children. We got to eat, you know?
Do you guys have their service?
I have
Yeah.
I think I had the one though that before N64 came out.
Yeah.
I
they
got
had-
the one that did SNES and I played like all the Donkey Kongs.
They had two tiers. Or the first, they only came out with one tier. It was basically you can play online and you can have access to like NES games, SNES games.
Still
Then-
no voice over IP though.
No. And then they were like, hey, we have an extra tier, which their tiers 2 is kind of cool. You can play N64 games, although the N64 emulator that Nintendo put out is worse than the ones that fans made. But it's also a thing where it's like, if you subscribe to this service, if you like Mario Kart or you like Smash, when we're releasing like seasonal things where it's like, here's new tracks, here's new characters, items, you automatically get them without having to pay DLC because you're paying into that service.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is some incentive.
There's
but-
some benefit.
So I do like this. The only reason I say this is not a competitor to Game Pass is because it doesn't have the day and date launch.
Yeah.
And that makes Microsoft's absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
You know, like I can stop paying for Game Pass over the summer. I could save $40,
Mhm.
you know?
Just because there's no games that you want to that are coming out in the
Not at the
summer.
moment, and I won't do anything until season 2 of Halo comes out.
When's that coming?
I think like late May,
End of May, I think.
end of
yeah.
May.
Is that when we're finally getting co-op for Halo?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We can finally play the campaign.
Yeah. I still
That'll be
never
fun.
played it.
Yeah, I didn't play it either. I played like the first mission.
Nope.
I was like,
Yeah, I'm
no.
done.
It's
Yeah.
like they
fine.
yeah. I could do this with my friends.
Okay. Perfect.
So, but either way, I think this is good if like I said, if they were day and date, this would be an instant for me. Like
Yeah.
if all the Sony titles were coming out on the day and I can just play them all. Like Returnal, I would play that game, but I don't want to spend money on that game.
No,
100%. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely want to play it, but I'm not going to.
But I'm not going to spend $70 on that game because it looks like a game that I'm not going to enjoy, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Halo
You know?
comes out May 3rd, by the way.
Well,
The
3 days before
co-op?
D Strange.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's shotgun the campaign in fucking 3 days and then go see Doctor Strange.
That is my birthday.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you want to do on your birthday? I was thinking about our birthdays actually.
Yeah, we gotta- we gotta
I was thinking
we gotta
about us
plan
and our
something.
birthdays. What do you want to do?
Comedy Cellar. Get
Well-
shit faced in
Well,
New
we got to
York.
figure. We
Mike,
got to
what are we
figure out a
gonna do
day
for
that we
our
can do
birthdays?
That's a
it.
good question. Nick,
Oh,
what are
that's
we
true.
doing?
Yeah,
we're gonna
because
go to
I think
I was
Comedy Cellar,
about to
too.
say we have to look at a map when really we have to look at a calendar.
We got to look at a calendar. Yeah, we'll figure
Okay.
it out.
So anyway, what?
Yeah, let's just make birthday plans right now, right here. Hold on.
That's what we do.
That's what we do every year.
Yeah.
The three of us.
And I
this
guarantee
podcast-
the audience wants to listen. They want to hear our birthday
They're
plans.
gonna want to see the birthday
Send us
footage.
recommendations for where Pat and Dan should have their birthday.
Hit us.
Anyway, there's a new Ghostbusters game coming out.
Choo choo.
Oh, I had one question about
Hype
PlayStation
train.
before we move on.
What?
So I have a PS4 at home, and I got jelly in the X button, and now it's sticky.
Oh, I can
What-
fix it for
What
you.
do I do?
I've taken apart all of my DualShock controllers.
Okay, I
and
need
cleaned
help
them.
with this.
Okay,
I was gonna take WD-40 and
Alright.
spray it in
No, you
there.
need isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol, and you could just wipe it around the rim. And it should be fine.
I
you fucking
apologize
animal.
to you two.
I was about to
About
say
the
our
birthday.
birthday plans. Now we're at least this
Now
is
I'm
takeaway.
criticizing
PlayStation related.
This is takeaway for the audience, though. Someone's sitting at
Yeah.
home with a jelly-covered remote. Like,
They're
I
sitting
need to
there with
know.
their DualShock and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like,
This is why we're waiting for it. They're talking to me. They're talking to me.
Hold on. It's important.
It's important.
Well,
So how do you fix it?
like grape or strawberry jelly.
Okay.
It was
And
strawberry
jam or
jam.
jelly,
It was
there's a
strawberry
difference.
jam.
And
Strawberry
is
jam.
it preserves? And are you 94?
I made it myself.
I've been canning it in the basement for 3 years.
It's going to be a cold winter.
I had a girlfriend once that I said, I'll take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And she goes, oh, I don't have jelly, but I have preserves. And I said, you know, I'm good. Never mind.
I don't think this is going to work out.
And I said, we're done.
I was like, damn, yo, how old are you? Anyway, we have this new Ghostbusters game. It's called Spirits Unleashed. So there's a IGN preview. I'm just going to go ahead and like let it play here, Jess,
Yeah.
if you want to cut to it. And then,
Won't see.
so I just want to see the footage. You know what I mean? I don't need to see I don't need to hear all their commentary, but like, this looks like what I'd want in a Ghostbusters game. You know what I mean? Like it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's even got
so it's the new Ghostbusters.
It's in the new universe of.
yeah. So this is all pre-alpha stuff though. When is this coming out?
It would actually be cool if it extends the story. So it's like
Q4.
Ernie Hudson running the new Ghostbusters.
Check this out. Somebody plays as the ghost, and they they spook people, and then everybody
is that
else is
Slimer, or is
first
that the
person.
new?
That's
And
purple Slimer.
It's just multiplayer, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
just
asymmetrical
like Dead by
multiplayer.
Daylight.
Was his
Yeah.
name Chomper or something like that?
like something like that. Or
Yeah,
Metal Boy.
but they're
Nutbuster.
I find
Nutbuster Games. What does that title card look like before the game starts?
some fucking squirrel just ding ding ding.
Oh, okay. I like it.
It's just
So it's
a
Ice
squirrel
Age.
from Ice Age.
So
yeah.
I like this because like it actually kind of reminds me of Prop Hunt to some extent. You know what I mean? Like you have to actually hunt where they're hiding with the whatever this thing is.
Spectrometer.
Does like
and
each-
shit.
Spectrometer,
does
is that what it is?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Does each Ghostbuster like have like a special ability kind of thing that they're
You're
running
asking
around?
a lot of questions.
I am.
They all have the special ability of sarcasm.
Ah, God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
and quippy one-liners.
I'd like to see different types of ghosts too.
Yeah, like different
Yeah.
kind of classes of
But, like,
look at
this,
and
bro.
ghosts would be cool.
This is the janitor ghost.
Scared.
See,
It does
he's
actually
gonna move the
support-
wet floor signs.
He's gonna clean them. It does support solo offline play with or without AI. It says.
Oh.
But the whole thing with it is that it's
Without AI, you just walk around.
Just
by
walking
yourself.
around.
It's just
Hello?
you. It's like it's like a simple adventure explore game.
Just
at
to
that point.
explore, yeah.
But I like
You're the
this.
ghost
I
and you
like
just
this
choose what to
idea
haunt.
that like you get to like make things levitate and like actually scare people in the room, and like that
That's the
tells
type
you
of
where
shit
to go.
that
Then, like,
Phasmophobia is missing.
and like that tells the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters where to go. You know what I mean? Like and how to track you down.
And so I guess like the ghost has like a some sort of scare meter that they have to fill or something like that.
This is not
like to
Monsters,
win.
Inc.
Haunt
What
the
is it?
building.
Oh, haunt the building.
Yeah, and then
It's
these
just- there's
guys
gonna
are-
be like objectives where it's kind of like capture the
That
flag
looks great
or,
though.
Sit in this area and take this area and you've haunted this and they have to it's gonna be interesting. I just
Yeah.
wonder how
Look at that. You can throw the trap and shit.
I wonder how like toned it down it's gonna be for mass appeal. Because like games like Dead by Daylight and everything. Well, as in like, is it gonna
I'm
be like?
sorry, I didn't know
neutered?
Ghostbusters was so violent.
I thought you meant there's going to be no ghost blowjobs
it's
like
polarized.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's gonna be no nut busting.
No nut busting.
Well, as in the fact of like if this is supposed to be a game that kind
I
of is
ain't
gonna
afraid no
incorporate, if it's gonna
I
incorporate
ain't
like
afraid of no nuts.
I ain't afraid no
horror-ish
bitch.
Hey,
and like
hey, hold on.
spooky-
Mike's saying something.
I'm just saying, you guys fucking talking, my God. I'm saying like if it's gonna be like if you're trying to like get other players scared while you're playing it, like if we're playing it and my objective is like to freak y'all out, am I gonna be able to freak you guys out, or is it just gonna be like look at that
You
chair?
see
It-
that?
it
You can
seems-
call the computers to do stuff.
It
You can
seems to
command
me
them.
like you have to scare the NPCs and hide from the other players. So I
Yes.
think it's not so much you're scaring the Ghostbusters, the
Nah,
other players.
dude.
I think you're just hiding from
It's in
them.
the theme song, bro.
That's right. They ain't afraid of no
They ain't
ghosts.
afraid no ghosts. So how are you gonna scare them?
It's a fool's errand trying to scare them.
You're the April Fool. Try to scare the
trying
Ghostbusters.
to scare the
A
Ghostbusters.
low ecto.
Oh, low ecto. So you have an ectoplasm meter.
I wonder what the other ghosts are gonna look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want some like big hulking son of a bitch. I want
the
somebody
marshmallow
on a broom.
guy,
Yeah, I
the
need him.
Michelin guy. Yeah.
I don't know. It just
I want Muncher.
Muncher.
that's his name.
Muncher. We're gonna name him Muncher.
Nutbuster.
Then gonna have Sigourney Weaver as a playable character.
For sure, dude.
Uh-huh.
At least DLC.
Yeah.
Same with what's his name? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Rick Moranis.
Rick
there you go.
Moranis.
Yeah. He
It's
got
gonna,
punched on
it's gonna be
56
punched
and
in the
fifth.
face, Rick
Yeah.
Moranis.
At
And he's
56
coming back for
with a
revenge.
shirt that says New York is back.
But it looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it for? PC?
It's for everything.
It's for everything.
Oh, okay.
Except Switch, right?
Cross-platform?
Yeah, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Xbox One, all coming out end of this year, Q4.
Did you know that
Smart
there's
fridge. You can play it on your smart fridge.
Did
Hack
you
a
know
smart
that
fridge.
there's still games that aren't crossplay? Elden Ring is one of them.
That's not crossplay?
Yeah, it's fucked
Really?
up.
I didn't know that. That's lame.
Would have. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it makes sense. They just don't care to.
Like not even PC to Xbox?
Nah,
Wow.
just switch that shit on, bro.
It's a button. You just hit, you
Why-
just switch it.
Walk to the closet. Yeah.
Well, there was one time where PlayStation was the only one saying like they didn't want to do crossplay, and then they accidentally turned it on for 2 hours with Fortnite, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, I'm queuing with PlayStation people. This is amazing." Yada yada yada. Right. And then after that, they saw how viable it actually could be to growing a player base. So,
And you know the guy that hit that button was fired.
oh, for
He
sure.
was definitely fired.
yeah,
They're
but
like,
he got
"Hey."
hired at Xbox.
Yeah,
His
exactly.
name
Like,
is Phil Spencer. And now he's in charge.
he walked into Xbox. They were like, "We like your balls."
How would you like to be in charge?
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Bill Gates comes, kisses him on the forehead.
Come back.
Prophecy was foretold.
He's straight up.
The one to bring balance to the crossplay.
I imagine it's something like Batman Begins, where he's like, "Are you ready to begin?" He's like, "I could barely stand." And he just kicks, like Bill Gates kicks his knees out or something. He's like, "Fear doesn't wait for you." Like, PlayStation is out there.
I'm going to get all the mosquitoes.
Your training begins tomorrow.
I couldn't get all the mosquitoes.
That is really cool, though. I'm glad they're doing that.
Crossplay or
No, killing
mosquitoes?
Kill
mosquitoes.
mosquitoes.
Who's
You hear
getting
about
this-
that?
What?
What is this?
They're
like-
breeding infertile mosquitoes, so they're just gonna release them, and then they're gonna breed with regular mosquitoes, so they can't have kids.
Yeah, Bill Gates has
Damn.
a huge mission to be like, we
Damn.
are going to rid the world of mosquitoes.
Is there is there
and then malaria.
What-
do,
yes.
do mosquitoes bring any good
No,
to the world?
They are one
they're
of the
nothing
things
bad.
that are like environmentally just a pest. Like, they
Okay.
don't-
The only
So
good
they
thing they
gotta
ever
go.
did was hold on to dinosaur DNA, so John Hammond could then clone dinosaurs.
Got it. So this is what we're giving up then.
Yeah.
This is what we're saying no to. Dinosaurs.
Hey,
You know
hey,
what?
life
Maybe-
finds a way.
Well,
Listen,
listen,
man.
man. Well, here's the
Listen,
thing.
man.
Here's the thing.
I said roller coasters, but mosquitoes are good too. You know, they can be second. You know, if we're gonna get rid of something,
If we got to choose one, I guess mosquitoes.
mosquitoes.
I guess mosquitoes then.
Maybe they found a way to
God damn.
make dinosaurs then without mosquitoes, and they're like, you know what? Get rid of them. That's it.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
time is done.
I understand the malaria, but you know that Bill Gates had some childhood trauma that is in the back of his mind that is like, I gotta get rid of these mosquitoes. Everything was built to getting rid of mosquitoes.
First it's the mosquitoes, next it's the fucking gnats.
Oh, he probably had that moment where in
Man.
Batman Begins, where he's in a cave and then mosquitoes are swarming all around.
He
him.
inexplicably has a big dome of gnats.
Yeah.
In his middle of his
In his
office.
lab.
Which, by the way, is in a hospital.
Yeah, which somehow he managed to
of,
sneak them in
She's
there.
like, "Oh yeah, what's this? Oh, nothing. That's just my column of gnats."
in the center of my room. It's just the centrifuge.
Let me open that door, and
of
there's my
gnats.
patient.
And then
I know what you're doing, though.
Yeah.
And then
well,
Bill Gates' parents took him to a play that was nothing but mosquitoes right after he had his horrible mosquito incident.
And then they die.
And then they died.
They both got malaria.
And then we got Microsoft
And Xbox Game Pass.
and Xbox Game Pass. So thank you, Bill Gates.
That's our happy ending right there.
Yeah. It's a neat little bow.
Pat is stunned.
Tie it up, man.
Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, I forgot we were talking. All right. Yeah, I watched it. I
Yeah.
forgot we were talking about it.
I saw a lot of early reviews that it was just like meh, and I really liked that first episode.
really
did.
enjoyed it. I
did.
thought it
I
was
liked
really
it.
good. I think the CGI isn't great, but everything else, I like the way the story built. I like the whole it's a dual personality Tyler Durden theory
Yep.
thing. Like,
And no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just really like the fact that it's like he's swearing, he's saying things, like there's some blood. It's kind of like, I'm like, cool. Like you're making an actual thing. Like,
Now,
you
Yeah.
give a shit
when
about
he-
like doing it in the way it should be done.
Yes.
when he I guess we should start with non-spoilery, and then we'll spoil. Well, I guess everyone's watching. Well,
There's
it's the
no
first
episode.
episode.
No spoilers.
It's one
Like, there's
episode,
nothing to
yeah.
spoil.
Okay. When he blacks out, right? Originally, like obviously that's meant to throw you off and like show, like not exactly give away that he has a split personality.
Yeah.
My whole thing is like, when he blacks out, is he turning into Moon Knight and ripping these people apart?
Correct.
Or is he still,
Oscar Isaac.
Stephen Grant?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's got another. Is Moon Knight has another personality, right? Moon Knight is still like a secret identity to his alternate personality, which is the American voice of Oscar Isaac,
The
right?
Mark.
No, I'm
Mark.
pretty sure
Yeah,
Mark is just Moon Knight.
I think Mark.
Yeah.
I think Mark
Well,
is Moon Knight.
So
Yeah.
Mark is his other personality.
Yeah.
And who is,
Moon Knight.
a
Moon
superhero.
So yeah,
Okay.
like when you're talking about like when they're in the car, for example, when he's driving the cupcake truck,
Mm-hmm.
like when he blacks out and then wakes up with a gun in his hand, it's like did
And
he
they're-
become enshrouded in?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
mirrors?
asking.
Yeah,
You know?
I would say he probably becomes Mark in those moments.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
at the
saying.
end, though, he
Wait,
turns into Moon Knight.
Only
Yeah.
because at that point Mark is like, "Give me the full control."
Oh,
As
that
opposed
makes
to him
sense.
Okay.
Taking it and like fighting over. So probably in those moments he doesn't turn.
So
into
then,
Moon Knight.
who is the voice on top of Mark?
That
I'm pretty sure that is the whatever Egyptian god
Yes.
Moon Knight is.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's gonna be
the guy with the cane
big,
and the rat and the
like,
raps.
Ra or
Yeah,
something, yeah.
some shit like that.
He was reading something in the books. It's like the guy in between,
it's
like
like the
human
Death
and God,
God or
or is it
whatever,
Death
yeah.
God? Is that what it is?
Speaking of death
Nutbuster.
gods,
Thank you.
Speaking of-
Produced by Nutbuster.
speaking of death gods, when Ethan Hawke walked on screen, for the
Oh.
first 10
Oh, that's
seconds,
Ethan
I was
Hawke.
like,
I didn't even know.
for the first 10 seconds, I was like, Kevin Bacon looks good.
That's what I thought it was Kevin Bacon. I was like, that's not Kevin Bacon, but it's a knockoff Kevin Bacon. That's Ethan Hawke.
And then I
Yeah,
went,
I know that.
oh no, that's Ethan Hawke. I'm fucking up. I also had to look it up because I remember I watched how many seasons of Entourage and thought Turtle was Ethan Hawke until
Turtle. You mean?
the other guy who looks like Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, his
Kevin
brother,
Dillon?
Kevin
His brother,
Dillon.
yeah.
Kevin Dillon.
I
Yeah.
thought that was Ethan Hawke until I
Big-headed
watched
Ethan
an
Hawke.
episode with you, and you're like, "That's not Ethan Hawke."
That's
I was
not
like,
Ethan Hawke.
I have watched 5 seasons of this show. What are you talking?
I think it was funnier when you thought Turtle was Ethan.
That's funny.
Have you guys seen the original Turtle,
The original Turtle.
like the real Turtle?
Mitch McConnell.
oh, I have.
Like
I have.
Teenage
Like who
Mutant
he's
Ninja
based
Turtle?
off
yeah.
of. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that guy is a freak. I can't believe that dude was ever friends with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, why would you call him Turtle if he didn't look like a freak?
All right, I'm gonna Google him.
Yeah. No, he's a Southie.
Does a lot of
He's a
this,
Southie.
you know. Yeah, he is a wrung out Southie.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he is.
He was wrung out and left to dry.
This
That's
is
his
what I get when I look up real life turtles.
and that's,
pictures
and
of
that's why
turtles.
nobody knows what he looks like.
That is him.
Um,
What do you think of Oscar Isaac's performance in this? Like, I love him as like a shaky kind of like nerdy loser character.
So I will say in that steak scene where he's at the restaurant and he just realized that he was blacked
Lost
out for
time.
2 days. I legitimately felt that. Like I really felt
That
like
was
his
all in the
sorrow.
performance, too,
It
yeah.
was a great performance. I genuinely felt that he was so sad, and now he's being driven mad by and he's just like, I'll take the good steak. I'll take the good, and he's so upset
Disassociated with it,
because
yeah.
we've all had nightmares where we overslept something. And it's just like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you had a test on Friday.
we all
and then
have
it's like,
overslept shit.
I know, like
the worst.
Yeah, like we have like that. We like overslept and we missed something,
Yeah.
and he was literally living the nightmare of no, it's Friday. It's Friday. I legitimately was sad.
I really, really like how he's portraying this and how they put us in the fact where it's like he's like not accepted this, but he's familiar enough with it. Like we
Yeah.
don't see him being like,
Yeah.
what's happening? I'm losing time. We don't see the whole progression of that. You get a broken character episode 1,
Yep.
and I really like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know, this character in the comics, he's basically Marvel's Batman. You know, he's a billionaire. I'm like I said, I'm not totally familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a couple things I watched. When I was introduced to him was from Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and I was like, who is that guy? And you know, that's when I did my Googling and everything, and he's popped up here and there. But this interpretation of him is not that from the comics, but after watching this first episode, I was like, I'm so fucking glad they didn't go that way because this is way more interesting. Because
And it's different. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't have any other characters like this.
yeah, and the cool thing is that, like, you know, for any comic book fan, a good adaptation or even like a cool new comic that like even has the classic staples, like even tells like the hero's journey, or is even just like a carbon copy of another superhero, like similar powers or stuff like Shazam and Superman.
Right.
If you hit all the major beats right, you're still going to win people over, and people are still going to be like, it's good, even though it's like Doctor Strange is Magic Iron Man.
Yeah.
And even though that they're essentially, you know, they're kind of the same character arc, it's good because it's presented in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
This is presented in a different way that's unique for Marvel, but it's also a very unique character in general to begin with, and I'm glad they capitalized on that opportunity, especially so well in the first episode.
Yeah.
Can they keep it up, though?
How many episodes are we looking at for this?
Probably gonna be 8.
Usually do 8.
6 to 8, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. That magic number 8.
I thought it was good. I really liked it. I really liked the
3
tension.
seasons, baby.
I really liked the tension throughout it. I really liked not knowing what's going on and them not telling you what's going on, as opposed to giving you like little hints, because it actually made me feel engaged, being like, I want to finish this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like by the end, I was just like, I want to see Moon Knight. Because we all know that like he's
6 in
blacking
total.
out.
6 in total.
Okay. Because we all know like he's blacking out and he's transforming into this other guy. But it's just like, I want to see it. Like I want to see it. And then to not show it until the very end, it was like, all right, well, now you hook
And
me
he's
for
beating
episode
the
2.
shit out of that thing.
Dog
The,
creature.
the
rat.
dog. The dog rat.
Yeah. So weird.
Rat dog.
Yeah.
Rat dog.
It looked like
Rat
Nico when he
dog.
was a baby. Still looks like a mouse, you know what I mean? Like some sort of rat or something, you know? Yeah, I liked it. I really loved when he would black out. And for instance, on the Alps scene when he blacks out and he wakes up and now he's got a gun in his hand, the windshield's all blown out, the guy behind him is shot in the head.
Yep.
I like all the visceral brutality
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
It doesn't it feels like, since it's in the first episode, it feels like they're setting that tone, whereas I feel like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we got a brutally bloody scene in episode 4, just like fucking out of nowhere, where, you know, they chop, you know, and now they're going back and they're erasing
edited
all of
it.
that shit. So
Was that part of it, what they're erasing?
what?
They
Like-
went in, you know, when he has blood on his shield and he's standing over there?
I'm not entirely sure about that, but they took out the kid who got shot up the body. They took all the blood out of that.
I thought they lessened
and
the blood on the shield.
they-
That's what I saw.
that was a
Oh,
like,
it was a
that was
thing?
a
Okay.
troll. But the I got trolled too, dude. I retweeted it. That's the reason why you
That's
saw
probably
it.
why I saw it, yeah.
The other thing was they accidentally uploaded an unfinished version of episode 4 where Bucky throws a pipe at someone.
I saw that one.
Yeah, and when that went back up too, they cut away right before he gets pinned. So it's like, why are you going in and chopping all these things up now? So hopefully this doesn't happen to Moon Knight either. But right now, I mean, like, it's
I logged into Disney.
I got that too.
I got it too.
And yeah, so
Oh, the
for
TVMA thing?
Now you have to sign in as an adult, which it's like, I see they're taking steps now that they're uploading more adult content on there. But don't fuck with the content. Just have more security features for your young users.
Just have the young users
if you're
not be
gonna
able
dip
to
your
watch
toe
it.
into adult content, don't do it half-assed.
Exactly.
Just do it right.
Well, don't dip your toe. Dive in and just do it, and then just block kids from being able to see it. Because
Bring back real sex.
the people have spoken. They want more incest. That's
you
what
go.
this is.
What I think is really interesting is like this came out, like obviously it was in production and made like after Peacemaker.
I saw your face and only saw that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What were you saying?
None of
Like,
your concern.
I think
That's
it's
what's
real- I
going
think
on.
last time we could do this.
That's it. I think it's cool that like this came out and it wasn't obviously influenced by Peacemaker because, you know,
How could it
Yeah,
be?
how could it be?
how could it
But
have
like
been,
the
yeah.
tonality is similar in a way, and it's kind of cool. I think that, or not in like the but kind of in the brass like brashness.
Unvarnished violence.
Yeah.
of it.
And it's just interesting that like we're moving kind of more into that in some of these different shows, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still think it's part of the like ripple effect of like Logan and Deadpool, where we're like, oh, people actually want to see this. Okay, let's do it.
Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're dealing with superhuman strength. People are going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't like beat around the bush and show like, oh no, they're just knocked out. No, let's show people getting fucked up
And also
and
with,
massacred by superhuman strength.
With everybody, I mean, like, we've been, following all of Marvel for, 10 years now? What is,
almost 15
Yeah.
at this
2007?
point. 2018 was 10 years. So
yeah. So we've been,
2013 will be 15 years of Marvel.
they understand the people that have been on that ride are
That's so weird that the
30
second
now.
that the third 5-year chunk went way faster than the first 5-year chunks
Yeah.
of Marvel.
Yeah.
Remember the halfway point of the first chunk? You were just like, man, I don't know if they're going to stick this landing. And then they pulled out the Avengers, and we were like, oh, shit, things are different now. And now I'm old. All right, either way, though.
Was that
branded.
Martin Scorsese.
It's not cinema. Okay? They watch it on their TVs, just like The Irishman.
Yeah.
You guys like
Yeah.
that movie, right? You guys want to watch The
That's a
Irishman
great
again?
movie. I'll never watch it again, though.
No.
It's just too long.
It's too fucking
how
long.
how long was
3.5 hours.
Oh.
In the last 30 minutes of the movie, there is no music.
Nick, did you like?
Not
we
that
talked
that's
about-
like, I wasn't like, hey, the fucking music in the first 3 hours is great.
But it's
But-
bad when you notice that there's no
Right.
music.
No, it's not that it was
like they
bad.
ran
It was
out.
just
It was
like,
done on
so like
purpose.
the whole point is like they're going to kill Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing is to like show you how like disconnected everyone is becoming from him, and how everyone's like, we got to get rid of Jimmy, like he's out of his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last 30 minutes, when that plot point unfolds, it's like he had that was it. All the happiness, like all his connection to everyone was gone. So that's why they murdered him. So that was like the whole point. But then on top of that, they go to the future, and the FBI agents who are like, the guy who wrote this book, Can You Paint Houses, I think it's called, or Do You Paint Houses?
Not sure.
He was a hitman for the Irish mob. Either way, he claims he killed Jimmy Hoffa, and that's what this movie's based off of.
Mm-hmm.
In the last scene of the movie, they go to his retirement home, and they say to him, like, everyone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's dead. Just, we can't even arrest you. You're too old. So tell us, did this happen or did it not?
Look at you. You're
And-
old.
And he was just, and even then, he wouldn't talk. And that's like the
Fuck the
quiet of the
police.
movie is supposed to be like, even in his, like, everyone's dead from that time except you.
and he still refuses
And he
to
still
talk.
refuses to talk.
Think of like what a troll he's being. He's just like,
Oh, he's dead
fuck-
now. He's
oh yeah,
on-
yeah.
yeah.
Well, he was just like, fuck all y'all. I'm taking this shit to the grave, and this is gonna be the greatest mystery of all time. You
Yeah.
can go fuck
He
yourself.
was QAnon too.
Speaking of the greatest mystery of all time, we watched Morbius. And the mystery is, how did this movie get made?
I was just about to say the mystery is why and how.
So, I don't think we need to do non-spoilers for this for obvious reasons. That being said, Nick and I walked out of this movie and we both agreed. We looked at the audience score. We get why it's 60%. It's
The audience
really-
score is 60%.
Yeah, because it's
higher
really
than 60. For me, I walked out of there going, that wasn't as bad as I was led to believe that it was.
Yeah.
gonna be.
And-
it was bad.
It was
but
bad.
it wasn't horrible.
Well, I think the critics.
It was
Okay,
bad.
our standards for comic book movies have obviously shifted.
Yeah.
This movie felt like a movie that came out in the late 90s
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they made comic
Yeah.
book movies.
Absolutely.
And like they just didn't know what they were doing the entire time, but they had some good action and they had a popular character. So like, at least even then maybe that would work. So like if this movie, much like the first Venom movie, if it came out in the late 90s,
it might have been
it
decent.
might have been
Yeah.
decent.
It might have been
all
pretty
right.
decent.
But now I watch this and I'm like, oh no.
The bar is up here.
oh,
And
yeah,
the bar
and
is
they-
way up here,
and-
and they just
And the critics
planted.
ate it alive, and that's why I was like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait to see this. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a big piece of shit." And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, "All right, this is by no means good," but I'm like, "This is not the worst thing I've ever seen.
I've seen worse.
I've 100% seen worse."
The theatrical cut of
Justice League is worse
was much worse
Yes.
than this, for sure.
I think the biggest problem that I had with it is like I felt nothing from the entire movie.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wasn't emotionally
yeah.
I
connected
did not
to
give
anybody.
Any shit. There was no tension. There was no character interdevelopment that I was like being pulled from when this happens, when that happens. And that's why I gave it such a low score. I was like, from a movie standpoint, I was like, visually, it's okay. Editorially, it's all chopped up. was like,
It's
I just did not give a
dude,
shit
the
about anything that happened.
There are 3 big offenders in this movie. The first offender is the direction.
Yep.
Oh my God, these scenes were staged horribly. Even the dialogue, they were breaking the 180 rule left and right. It was like,
It was bouncing all
I
over the
don't
place.
know what there was one scene in the beginning of the
was
movie.
the
I turned
cave.
to you and I said, I'm disoriented already.
So the camera comes down the bat cave and then kind of does a spin. It's like you can't even tell what you're looking at. It's just gray blob. At
Yeah.
that
That's
point.
the entire movie. Is Great Blob spinning.
Well, then the other big one with that was when they towards the final boss battle when they crash through the ground and it's just rubble. It's like there's literally no information in this frame. It's just noise.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we said. It was good. Go to see a movie with somebody else that I can talk to, like, allows me to cement the ideas in my
we were
head.
being loud.
Yeah,
in
but
the
nobody
theater.
gave a flying
No.
fuck. And the people, there was 4 seats bought next to us. Those people didn't show
Nobody
up at
showed
all.
up. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
true.
Yeah.
Dude, there was 4 people in my theater. I went on Thursday when it like the people that should I went on Thursday at 7:30. Like the people
The
that
first showing.
right, the people that should give a shit about like these kind of movies should be going to that kind of show. It was me, 2 other people, and then 1 couple. And literally when it ended, like we were all sitting there waiting, and everything happens, and the post credits go. Like the lights come on in the theater, and everybody like literally turns and looks at each other, and they were like.
Did that just happen?
Seriously, it was just kind of like a collective, like,
It made
You were here.
$40 million.
I know it did because it's going to do what Venom did. I'm so
It's
mad.
gonna get a sequel.
God damn it.
Well,
They kind of set up.
let's not
Well,
get to
yeah,
that
all right,
just
let's
yet.
let's take it. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Like,
How did this make $40 million?
Buddy.
People like us.
people got podcasts to
yeah.
do.
People got podcasts.
So I want to just start
This
out.
is just the podcasting crowd.
So what's funny is when you guys went to go see it, you said that people were just like talking like throughout like the whole
Openly.
time. Yeah.
Having
pretty
conversations.
much mainly us, but
Okay. So
The guy behind us was giving us his commentary the entire time.
that was through the
Through the veil of you
trailer.
doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
So
we were talking in the movie.
So I actually had to
There's a
ask.
big difference.
So I go to the theater. I bought tickets at like the very end of the row, like at the end of it's like right next to the aisle. And I bought in a row where literally no other seats were. Let's say I bought it at
Available,
like
right? Yeah.
there no other. Oh, no, sorry, there were no other seats taken.
Oh.
So it was a completely empty row that I decided to buy at the very
You
end
didn't
of the
choose
row.
the middle. You chose the end.
I chose the end. And so I then get
You
to the
wanted a
theater.
quick exit.
Oh yeah, exactly. I wanted to get the fuck up and the fuck out when it was done. And so we then go to our seats, and these 2 like teenage girls bought the seats right next to us. Directly next to us in like the 2-hour span that I bought those tickets. And so I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I sit down. No one is sitting in the rest of this aisle. It's just these girls sitting right next to us. And then the movie is playing. They didn't shut up the entire time. And at one point, one of them took out their phone and was playing something on their phone. And at that point, I was just like, look, this is a shitty movie, but I got to say something. I just turned over and I was like, I took an edible beforehand too. I was baked. And so I lean over and I
gets it in on the last one, huh?
Yeah, right?
I lean in and I was just like, excuse me.
Excuse me.
And then I forgot what I was going to say. And so I'm just staring at him. I was like, hey, excuse me.
And they,
I'm going to need you to stop talking. I was going to need you to stop talking. I'm trying to watch the movie. And these girls just looked at me.
You're just that guy who's like, when I fucking find that motherfucker, I'm gonna. I don't even know what I do.
So they looked at me, didn't say a word, and their faces were a mix of, are you fucking serious? And fear. They were afraid that this guy was leaning
just
over.
move down.
Well, honestly, I was like, why in the... we could have moved down, but no, fuck them. These are my seats. I got these seats. They can go fuck themselves. And so I'm
is
going
a
to...
matter
Dan
of
is officially
principle.
old.
Yeah. 100%. I could have easily
Yelling at
just
children?
got it. Oh yeah, they were 14 years old. They were playing shit on their phone.
I just really
in a
want,
movie theater.
I want to experience it because yours like, hey, you should move down. It's like, and then I want to see what the actual thing is where you're just like, Why are you on your phone?
So, I didn't tell them to like move down. I was just like, excuse me. Do you mind? I'm trying to watch the movie.
Do you mind?
Do you mind?
How far into the movie was it?
We're like 25 minutes in.
Oh God! So you sat for like another hour next to them.
Oh yeah. And the best part is that I sat there enjoying myself. Like Katie and I were then laughing the whole time. Like there were parts of the movie that were just terrible. So we were laughing. I didn't hear a peep from them for the rest of the movie. The way I look at it, I won.
Funny, right?
Dad yelled
Why
at
you
me.
laughing now?
And then after the movie, again, there's still no one else in our entire aisle. After our entire row, after the movie, rather than walking over us, they walked the entire length of the row to then leave and exit around the movie theater.
Good.
Yeah, I won.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. You did.
And I just punked these. However,
You're a big strong man, aren't you?
in the back of my mind,
big strong man.
as I was thinking that, I was like, I'm going to have to yell at these teenage girls. I was like, what if they punk me? Like, what if they come back and they tell me to fuck off? What am I supposed to do?
They like pour a bucket of popcorn over your head and stick the bucket on you.
Oh yeah, I was like, what am I supposed to do? I
1950s
can't
bullying.
get into a fight with 14-year-old
Yeah.
girls.
They dip his pigtail in it.
Yeah.
They
If
give him
they're
a swirly.
if they're smart enough and they have like enough like gusto to sort of tell me to fuck off, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's absolutely
You
nothing
go
I
get the
can do.
manager
Yeah.
like the grandpa you are. You know?
Exactly, but then I lose no matter what.
Hey,
It's a
man,
lose-lose
I had
situation.
to get the manager one time at the movies, and
You see how interesting Morbius is that we're just like talking about what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Nick experienced Dolby for the first time.
Well, what'd you think?
It was Dolby, all right.
The seats were something
The
else.
seats were shaking my booty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It feels good.
Jess, have you never been to Dolby before? I'm pretty sure we saw Spider-Man in Dolby.
Oh, if that's so, then I have been to Dolby.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was there too. Remember
Oh.
not sitting next to Liz.
I guess you were. What's it called? I guess. Well,
Right.
nobody's sitting next to Liz now.
No one was.
Now I'd be sitting alone.
Someone's got to sit
Someone has to.
I want to sit
Someone's
with my
got.
friends and see Spider-Man. Okay, get the fuck out of here.
Someone's got to do it.
So here's my non-movie related experience for Morbius. This is the best part of the whole movie. After the movie, we went to, was it Shake Shack?
Shake Shack.
We went to Shake Shack and we're eating our burgers, and this woman, 60s, 70s, comes up and she was like, "Excuse me, are you a gamer?" And I was like,
She asked him, "Are you a
Yeah.
video gamer?"
and then like
Jess is
Why does she have a southern accent?
she's like, "Are you a gamer?" And like I look at Pat, and Pat's like, "Yeah, we're both gamers." And she looked at me, she was like, "Somebody that people watch?" And I was like, "No, not really."
You should have said.
She goes, "Oh well, my grandson thinks like he says you like that's definitely you." Like
We
you're the
walked
one."
in and she was just like, "Yeah, when you guys came in, my grandson pointed at you and said that he knew who you were. You're a famous gamer."
Damn.
Do you know who he's talking about? I was like,
Me.
No idea.
No clue.
And she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna let him believe that you're the gamer." So then a few minutes later, Pat got up to go get napkins, and then now that his head's not there, I can look forward, and there's just like a little 5-year-old blonde boy just staring me directly in the eyes, and I'm like,
Should have winked at him.
And she was specifically talking about you.
Yeah.
You looked like
And then this
Dude, I don't
bitch
know.
reached
I don't
into
know.
my GameStop bag and tried to give him my controller.
Signed it and everything.
And right before I was, "Hey, motherfuckers, that's my signed controller now."
my side controller that I stole from a GameStop employee who didn't deserve it.
Because fuck that guy. All right, so let's get back to Morbius here, guys.
"Oh yeah."
So,
Can I talk about the opening for a minute?
yeah.
So
Of course.
I
No.
just want to
We're
like
passing over the opening.
Yeah.
I don't know
I never pressed the important button. The Leto watch.
Oh, I thought she was about to say we were not recording.
I was like, Jess, we are an hour and change
I was
into
about
the
to be
show.
like,
Jess, my heart
Jess,
you
fucking
broke our
sank.
hearts.
bro,
All right, folks.
hit that shit.
Ready?
Welcome to Leto Watch.
This is what we all came for.
It's Leto Watch.
that.
That's Joe.
You've never heard that
No,
before?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, we used to have
That's
a
my
segment
first one.
dedicated
we gotta-
to Jared Leto news.
We have,
Watch,
and there's
baby.
like an animation of Jared Leto.
Really?
I've never seen
it's
this.
Leto watch, like a hat, and like he comes out, and then you've never seen this?
I've never
really
heard it.
funny.
Honestly, I heard it. I was like, that sounds like me. I don't remember recording
It's
this.
Leto. I love the they tink.
It's Leto Watch.
It's Leto watch. I text Joe today and I said we're using Leto watch today. You should be proud. That's what we were talking about in the group chat today.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you get the shout out to the weekday preview?
I got that. Yeah.
Excited.
Wait, is it to the weekday? Is
It's
that?
to the weekday.
Yeah.
So you guys recorded another one.
This is we're recording another one.
Oh, okay.
Right
it
now, it's just a
sounds like
sample.
Will
The
Smith.
long
It does. It
anticipated
does.
sequel.
So like they're going with for Baldwin Heights 2. It's going to be like a G-Funk kind of job. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
At least that's what they told me. I'm not involved in those plans. They tell me to show up and
sing,
spit,
yeah.
and spit bars. Anyway,
The one line that Joe said, something about Cory Booker being his dad again, and then
Yeah.
the other one where he's like, White Claw got me swerving on the drive over. So I was laughing so hard.
I got a line. It's wings from last night at the back door hitting. I got Slack on my phone if you ping me while I'm shitting.
That is amazing.
That's just a taste.
It's just funny to picture like Joe and Matt around around Matt's computer, like being like, dude, Slack on my phone while you shitting. Yeah.
No, I wrote that line. I wrote that
I
line.
Well,
picture
you get what I'm
Joe
saying.
eating
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bowl of Cheerios and
Yes.
like Matt at the computer, and
Yeah.
Joe's got the bowl like right here.
Yeah.
How he holds it.
Yeah. I many a
Yeah.
living room breakfast with Joe while we're making
With his
something up.
glasses like at the end of his nose.
Yep. It's now more
gotta
yogurt
ask
with
yourself.
honey. Yeah.
He's getting heart healthy.
You gotta ask yourself.
You gotta ask yourself.
All right.
Talk about the beginning, Nick.
Yeah,
So,
I want to
yeah.
talk about the beginning. I don't understand the pacing of this movie. They want us to care about character development, but they give us no time. So it starts with the Batcave sequence, and of course there's the like, do you need a doctor line where it's like
The first thing he
Yeah.
says in the movie.
the first line in the fucking movie.
Dude, the dialogue was written like a fucking fourth grader.
It
Yeah.
felt like dialogue from an late 90s, early 2000s video game cutscene.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you get that scene, and then you're immediately thrown back 25 years earlier, and then it's like fucking Lucian shows up in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Leto is rude to him.
Yeah,
a
he's like,
dick.
he's like, fuck you, I'm renaming you.
You are not a
the
human.
last 5
Yeah.
kids that died were named Milo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're Milo number
It's
8.
It's like a dog. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'll just get Rocky 6 when Rocky 1 through 5 die.
So he's rude to him, and he doesn't acknowledge him as a human being.
Yep.
Then you get a new dog and
Then
call it Creed.
it's intercut with another scene of them going up to like a playroom and getting bullied by Greek children.
Yep.
Then we cut back to the hospital bed, and Jared Leto, little Morbius, fixes a fuse, and now he has to be a doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
That
He's
was
just
my
like, yeah,
favorite
you're
part.
gifted.
Talk about okay, first of all, when we were walking across the parking lot to Shake Shack at this point, and what I said was that all he did was stick a fucking spring into a bat. Like all he did was change the fuse.
Yeah.
That was a fuse that
He
he
made
took,
a little
I've changed
conductor.
those
He
in my
completed a little
little
conductor.
And then Nick just goes, yeah, all he did was complete the circuit. And then I go, he didn't even do that right because the fucking spring is
was
shooting out of the top of
sideways,
it.
yeah.
It's not even when they show it. It's not even in there.
But that's besides the point, because electrical engineering does not make you a doctor.
Yes,
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
thing is just like, it took a team of scientists to build that machine, and you repaired it quickly. I was like, I can repair a machine with
And he's like-
tape.
and he's like,
that's not how that
I
works.
can fix jelly in a PlayStation controller.
Damn it!
Or
You should be a
preserves.
doctor.
But yeah, and then he's like, I have connections, I have money, we will make you a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we cut back to the future, and he has the Nobel Prize,
laureate,
not the Nobel.
yeah.
It's a Nobel Prize.
Well, I don't
From
know
the
if they
Pat-
can say.
king and
Pat
queen
looks
of
at
what?
me. Pat looks at me, and he's like, "Did they just say?" And I'm like, they don't have the rights to say Nobel.
Nope.
So they just called it the Nobel Prize.
Which is somehow worse than just renaming.
calling it
Just
something
call it
else.
Call it something
Like,
different.
Yeah.
like a Medal of Valor or something.
the
Like, whatever. Pick
shield,
something-
whatever.
Yeah.
Or like that's how you build a
the
universe.
high
not
honors in
have-
medical service.
Yeah.
But listen, how you build a superhero universe is like you have a good character, but you build the world around them in the sense that like that could have been like some organization from Marvel that recognizes
Yeah.
whatever. Instead, they just took this weird route of like instead of finding what that is, like finding out what that is, they just made up this weird thing. Either way, though, it's just a weird and fucking odd choice. Like
Yeah.
overall.
And then
Like the
they
Nobel
should've-
Prize.
They should have just picked up right from that moment of him winning the Nobel Prize for the blood, but also all that wasted time of showing them as children that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They could have just showed adult Morbius and adult Lucian as friends as adults, because we don't ever see that. We
Well,
don't ever see them as friends.
Here's the thing with that is this is a big problem I have with the movie is it asks you to make a lot of leaps that were definitely cut out in
Yeah.
editing because
for sure,
because
dude.
the thing is like as they're getting beat up by children and they're getting bullied
by Greek children.
by little Greek boys as they're getting beat up. This later on makes sense why
The few versus the many.
Well, the few versus the many, but also why Milo, when he just goes to a bar and kicks the shit out of people, it is him now being invigorated because he was bullied all his
And
life.
he's taking it out on.
But it is never like it just those events happen without referencing other events or like even emotionally or thematically. So you just have to make like that's an assumption I'm making.
It's also one of
knowing
those
how
movies-
a movie is structured is the only reason that
Yes.
you know why
we were
it's
talking
happening.
about this
Yeah.
leading
Yes.
too. I said like because we do this podcast, my brain is built because so I watched Matt
Built
Smith.
different.
Yeah, built differently. I watched Matt Smith, and like my whole brain is like Matt Smith is supposed to be the villain of this movie, so him doing villainous things tracks. What's the issue with that? And then Nick goes, because if you think about it for more than 20 seconds, none of it makes any sense.
He's got no motivation.
and I did, and I was like, you're absolutely right. None of it makes any goddamn sense.
His motivation is that he was bullied as a
I
kid.
would have
Yeah,
rather
that's his
have
full
seen
motivation.
them.
I was bullied as a kid. You don't see me killing people.
That's the thing. It's just it's just
far as we know.
there is motivation.
Give me some
and there-
powers. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Yo,
There
you
is
kill my parents and
motivation.
give me $2 billion. You watch how many people I fuck up on a daily, all right?
There's motivation and reasoning behind the characters, what they do, but it is off screen and it is not talked about. You have to make
But-
those connections. Like
Yeah.
you were saying.
Mike, let me ask you this. So now we're going to jump to the very end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He now Matt Smith is a living vampire, and he wants Morbius to accept that they are vampires and that they can do anything. So what he does to convince Morbius to get on board with this is kill their mentor and his girlfriend, and then attempts to kill him. Why was he doing any of those
I think for
things?
that kind of thing is again shit was definitely cut and edited out. There definitely was more conversations on being like, this is us now. We are the partners. We the few against the many. There was definitely emotional the things
Well-
that require emotional connection as to why that happens and
So-
then doesn't end up happening.
Here's
We're not there.
where I'm at with this. This was not a film that was brought to a studio with like, I would love to make this. This was commissioned by a board of directors. And that's because this board of directors has access to a certain section of Marvel canon that is very popular in its own right. I mean, two of their most popular characters we have on the wall. And
two jizz monsters.
two jizz monsters, that's right. They actually have cum gutters. If you like, they literally have spillways that run through their body with
Spillways.
Yeah, look, Venom and Carnage.
Got a lot of gutters up there.
Yeah, I got a
Wall
lot
of
of gutters.
gutters.
Wall of gutters.
That's what I wake up to every morning.
Now,
I just
yeah.
look at these
Best thing that ever
gutters.
happened to me was Liz sleeping in the other room.
I've been
So-
doing crunches
every morning.
every morning.
So, this movie, basically what I'm saying is that it was made in bad faith to begin with because they just want to cash in on the hype around superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's where the separation between the creative team and like the studio team is, like where the executives are, because there's way more cut out of this movie than
I'd
There's-
watch a Snyder cut. Of
I'd
this.
watch.
wanna
I'd
watch the
watch.
full
I
cut.
want to watch the full cut, and the reason that I do is because even though you can't fix shitty dialogue, but there is more story because because the sequence where he's learning to use his powers, I like that sequence.
Yeah, where it was like cutting from his perspective to the cameras, like when he's
Or when he stands there and he throws the ball and he listens to it and you hear it bounce all around the theater and then he catches
in Dolby
it.
was cool as
Yeah,
fuck.
like
but they don't.
That's what
use
Dolby
that.
was built
Yeah.
for.
Like they introduced that and then it's not used.
yeah. So there's like these
Outside of, like,
sparks
him
and
listening in
there's
the
like
city,
Just
but-
having good hearing.
So there's like these sparks and these flares of like I guess you can say like inspiration, right? Like the director who took on this material really understands this character.
Can I point out one example?
What's that?
So you know that like I called this out in my article that you could read at PressAnyKey.tv. So there's like these swirly, smoky things that come off of him, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But then watching through the movie, it made total sense because it was like a visualization of his heightened bat senses, and him kind of like him being able to visualize sound and the
way the air flows.
the way the air was flowing.
basically aerodynamics. Yeah.
And I was like, that's a cool way to represent his powers. That was really
and like
interesting.
the way that he executes those powers too, like how he focuses, how his eyes turn,
The ears?
the ears,
Ears
or
is really cool.
even then,
the ears were weird.
or how
I didn't
about
like
it was.
or
I didn't like it.
I love
didn't
the
like
way
it.
that he's not actually flying; he's riding the air because
He's
he can.
falling with style.
Yes,
style.
we're not aiming for the truck.
But I think all that stuff is cool. Like like I guess I could see where you're coming from. It looks cool, but my biggest thing where I was really disconnected from him, like listening, I was disconnected by Jared Leto's performance.
It was
I
horrible.
thought
Really?
he was lazy. I thought he
What?
phoned this one in.
Nothing
I
again.
thought you guys got to watch House of Gucci. You don't know a bad
Here's
Jared
the thing.
Leto
Here's the thing.
performance.
That doesn't make this a good.
That doesn't just because he was better doesn't
Right,
make.
but it also listen. I don't think Jared Leto's a bad actor. The man has
No.
has
He's got an
Academy
Oscar.
Awards.
He's got
and
an
he has
Oscar.
multiple nominations.
Yeah.
Okay, like there's no way he's.
I think
a bad
he's a good
actor.
actor. This one, I think he was just lazy and he phoned it
I
in.
think he
agree.
overindulges in things, and this
He was
role,
trying too hard to act like a sick person.
yeah, and this role,
He came across very tired because he was dying of a rare blood disease.
he tends to overindulge. In this instance, I felt this character was more restrained than his other characters for obvious reasons.
and I think a bit too much.
I don't think so. I actually think like it was good to see him
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I like just like it's getting as opposed to him being like, who's gonna give you a reach around? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
that
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
like,
but
the
This
problem
was
I
a
have-
pleasant like helping of Jared Leto versus like, oh my god,
I
you
think
know, like
for me, it's more of a problem of the shit. Like he couldn't rise the dialogue up.
I think that's
The
a big
dialogue
part
was
of
horrible.
It was
But
really
you
also-
can't elevate the material.
It's
Yeah.
also like a big thing that I wrote in my article on PressAnyKey.tv is that it's just they have no idea where he wanted to be. Like he is this, very good doctor helping cure the world, and then he's like, oh, I turned down the Nobel Prize because like then he's pretentious, then he hates himself,
Yep.
then he loves himself, then he's a
oh,
martyr.
there's
It's
no
just like-
consistency with his
Well,
character
which
at
is
all.
why I think it's so hard for him to figure out like I need to pick a direction and I need to
Right.
lean into it.
Well,
So it
that's
seems like
that's
a
the
flat
problem. I mean, like, listen,
Yeah.
the screenplay influences the director in some way, and then if the director is doing what's on the page, and he's not great at elevating material at all, because you could have shitty dialogue but have a good movie. I mean, fuck me, look at 300. Half that movie is them just shouting things that you can just see. You know what I mean? Like,
fight in the shade.
yeah, it's like, well, we're gonna have to if you
Yeah.
block out the sun.
I
Like,
want to jump ahead, and I don't want to derail the conversation. I would like to come back to this, but a lot of what you're saying leads me to the post-credit scenes.
hold on. There's a little bit more meat on the bone
That's
before
what I'm
we
saying.
get there.
I want to come back, so I won't touch too much on the post-credit scenes. But what they do allude to is that he's going to be a villain. They do allude to a team of supervillains.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you build this whole movie around him being a noble, good person who doesn't kill when you're setting him up to be a bad guy? Where is their head at? They're not thinking forward at all.
I also feel like in that respect where the movie builds him up to be a good guy, but they want him to be a bad guy.
Bad guy.
A bad guy.
Be a guy.
You're robbing the character of Morbius of what makes him special, which is the man turned monster. You
Yes.
know, the guy who risked it all for science and it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And this one, it's like, no, it does work out. Like, I'm this hybrid vampire thing now. All I gotta do is just drink the blood.
Drink some artificial blood, and I'm good.
You don't get the like ramifications of the Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, you know what? I figured this
You
out.
get better Jekyll and Hyde in Moon Knight than you do
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
like really a man becomes a monster story.
What I think again from like the stuff that got cut out in the editing is when like when everybody basically around him that he knows dies, turns him into maybe this villain kind of thing in the end. But it just was so like commonplace. He's like, oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. These literally the only other people in the movie are dead.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you don't have that. And he just flies away.
Yeah.
You don't have anything. You don't see like, oh my God, fuck.
That
Like he just
motherfucker's
lost
alive.
everybody.
Why was there like no fault? Like, so you got your rising tension and you got your climax. There was literally
no
no falling
fault.
There's
tension.
no comment.
No.
That's
just
how
stopped.
You guys,
Climax.
you guys,
Nutbuster,
that is
and
how,
that's it.
That is how every single Transformers movies ends. It ends literally right after the bad guy is killed. Optimus Prime says like a four sentence monologue. And
They
then
are
it just
more than
cuts
reach
to
the eye.
yeah,
We didn't
and
even
then
get a monologue.
Just cuts
Yeah.
to Linkin Park and directed by Michael Bay. Like that's how it works.
It's like whatever the Harry Potter movie is, where it ends with him like on the broom flying like really quick. It's just
Yeah.
like the events happen and then it's like zoom, and then it fade to black. I'm like, he's flying in this too. They did it again.
We see the one chick wake up and then zoom in on the eyes.
One
We're
thing
gone.
Nick pointed out while we were watching the opening credits and the closing credits that were definitely done in After Effects.
Yeah.
Nick just goes, they didn't even match the marketing from the poster. I
You
was
know,
like, oh
yeah,
my
it's
God,
all
you're
like,
right. There's no
that's
brand
not
An
recognition.
80s vaporwave.
I don't think that
You
actually.
know, like,
I don't think
hysterical. I
that
didn't even
Spider-Man
think about
poster
that.
that was in all the previous shit was actually in the movie.
No.
And
no,
then he also,
it's a JPEG from the fucking PS4 game that
Yes.
they cut out
How
and just
about
put
this?
in
He
there.
also
Yeah.
does not say, "I'm just Dr. Michael Morbius."
He
does it. Oh,
he
I was
actually
looking for
says
that.
Michael Keaton's not in the fucking movie at all.
Yeah.
He actually
advertise
says, "I am Venom," and then there's no payoff. It's like, why would he say that?
I know. I was like, the whole fucking point. The only thing I've been joking about this movie is not in the actual movie.
So
Dr.
much going
Michael
around.
Morbius.
You guys, this movie has had 7 release dates. And
21 months.
And this movie
And we
was
thought it was going to
supposed-
get better with every release date.
This movie
They're
was
working on it.
supposed to
It's just
come out.
bacon. Don't worry.
This movie was supposed to come out originally before Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, the one thing before we get to that, Tyrese and Al Madrigal, you could cut them right out of the movie and it wouldn't matter.
You want to talk about lazy acting?
they
Tyrese
served-
wasn't even
Tyrese
trying.
didn't know he was acting.
It
was-
served no purpose.
Dr. Michael Morbius, first, I want to thank you. Your artificial blood saved me in Afghanistan.
Save my arm in Afghanistan.
Saved my arm in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Now I have questions. Here's Al Madrigal to make terrible jokes.
Yeah, like I was. That's just like them trying to do the Marvel thing where you have like that weird, quirky, non-superpowered individual.
And he did a
Jimmy
horrible
Woo.
job.
Yes, exactly. But the whole thing with them, I was just like, you're literally only there to put him in jail, and then he breaks out of jail
I saw-
instantly.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
saw a tweet that said Tyrese's performance is the worst of his career in Morbius, and someone uploaded that clip of Tyrese being like, "I don't know what else y'all want from me." like I'm giving, like it's just
At first, I was like, good for Tyrese getting work outside of Fast and Furious. It's like, hey, good for him, but it's a shame. And then you realize, oh, there's a reason he doesn't get
Also,
work
they-
outside of
yeah.
Fast and Furious.
they made a massive jump and leap to being like, you know who did this? It's Dr. Michael Morbius. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they like were like, well, here's one shot.
I
of
like how
evidence.
it's
I'm
all-
going to arrest him.
it's
Yeah.
all done
You
off
look
of
downright
CCTV
robust.
footage too. There's like Dr. Michael Morbius, main suspect, and there's him like looking to the left through the hood, like on CCTV, and then later on they're like, look at this CCTV image that is no clearer or brighter than the one we looked at.
doesn't have
before."
long hair.
And it turns, he goes, "That's not Dr. Michael Morbius," and it's Matt Smith
Yeah.
all vampired out. I'd be like, how could you discern who
That's
that
not
is
a
at all?
person. What are you talking
Like
about?
you can't actually make a judgment call on that.
So
That
talking
is a
about
blob.
CCTV, how about the scene? Like talking about the bad editing.
Oh, another downfall is the editing.
The
for
editing
sure.
is for me is like the primary offender, where it's like they show him, he just was a vampire for the first time, and then he goes to the computer to see the footage, and then it like he's standing there, and it just cuts to him mid vomit.
Yes.
And then he finishes vomiting, and it cuts again to him standing perfectly. Like, where was the like you could have had him do that action rather
or you could have had it done like kind of quicker cuts and like more stylistically like set back and showed him doing all of those things to show like the actual like oh shit.
Yeah, or I mean, like, even then it's just like any sense of urgency at all would have been cool. And it's like he just immediately called a mayday and then packed up. I would have been like, no, dude, that would have been the last thing I did, is like to get as much time between me and the authorities. And even then, like, he just jumps off the boat.
He just jumps off.
And like, I get like he's a vampire, he could probably swim, all that shit and everything, but like
13 miles.
He definitely doesn't know how to swim in general.
Yeah.
And two, like, he just leaves his friend there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she's got like a tube down her throat and everything.
She's
like
fully intubated. She got fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that, like this.
And he's a doctor.
Yeah.
He could have fixed her.
No, well, what he did is he went over and
What he
I
did?
hear a heartbeat. She's okay. Like,
I do like the way they visualized her heartbeat. I love that. I love the way they visualize his powers and how he sees the world, and the way, like, I honestly was watching that, and I'm not the first person to share this opinion. A video game like that would be fucking cool as hell.
The more and more I see a lot of movies coming out and a lot of content coming out, it's just I really see how video games have inspired like the opposite way, because it's like you always had a movie and then you made a video game off of it, and a lot of the time now, because video games are fucking awesome, they're really influencing like movies and kind of that.
Yeah, you ever see Uncharted?
Well, yeah.
And next week we got Sonic, so maybe hold your breath.
Yeah, I'm talking about in style and.
Okay.
Jim Carrey's last movie of all time.
Is it actually? Is he retiring?
He said
he's retiring.
But bro, there's no way that they're not having Shadow the Hedgehog and Robotnik in the third Sonic. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
No, you have to.
You're gonna put him in a fat suit.
Robotnik's in.
That's what I'm saying.
They should just.
First one he had hair. Now he's bald and he's got the mustache.
Now
and then
he's
the
good.
next one he's gonna be fat.
They should have just had Mike Myers play.
That would have been a good choice.
But with a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Shrek. Shrek's owned by Paramount. Just put him in there.
Yeah. Toss him in.
I want Shrek. We don't want him in here.
Get Shrek out of here right now.
I don't know why I got so offended. We don't want Shrek.
We gave you a swamp, Shrek. Go stay. You have like 50 movies, Shrek. What are you? Well, they're doing. You know what? Now that we're talking about Shrek, the Deadpool writers are doing a reboot of Shrek.
Yeah,
but it's not a proper. It's not like they're not changing cast. It's still Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy.
It's just gonna be R-rated.
It's just they're just doing their own thing. They're just starting fresh, and I'm like,
I wish we could cut to Jess's face right now.
That's hysterical.
Oh,
Jess
wait,
can do that. Yeah.
I love Shrek.
Oh,
Shrek is love,
dude. We had a barbecue at your house like a couple years ago, and we legitimately sat down and watched Shrek.
And
right?
I remember we put it on, and I remember thinking like, you guys aren't all staying here so we can watch Shrek, right? And then we watched all of Shrek.
We watched all of Shrek, and it was
Shrek.
Awesome.
It was great.
It was great.
As I'm rewatching it at 24 or whatever with my gingivitis, as we're watching it,
gums bleeding.
As we're watching it, I'm just thinking, I was just like, this movie is amazing. It's such a good movie.
I like that. I like
Shrek
that
2.
boulder.
That's Shrek 2.
I like that boulder.
That is
That's a nice boulder.
Shrek's great. I think everybody here loves Shrek.
We can all agree Shrek better than Morbius,
Shrek's
right?
great.
I think we can.
Pat. You should say something about that ADR in this
Oh
movie.
my god. Okay, so
You guys pick up on the
this was
ADR?
No.
this was a competition
remember.
between me and Nick at some point. Who can pick out all the horrible ADR? First scene of the movie.
What is ADR?
Somebody turns their back, and you hear from like the right.
What's
Oh
ADR?
my God, you're so right. I forgot about
You don't
all
know
of that.
ADR?
No, what's ADR?
You do voiceover.
What's ADR?
It's
I'm gonna get the
dialogue
actual
replacement. I forget what the A is, but it's basically anytime they
I think it's
alternate dialogue replacement.
Oh,
so
okay.
anytime they do the dialogue after the scene's already been filmed.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
and then just fill
when
it in
they do-
afterwards.
when they
almost
do-
like a
one in my brain.
almost
right
like a
now.
Frankenbite.
When they
kind of
do
thing.
like big action
That's
sequences.
another name for it. Frankenbite.
No, a Frankenbite is
it's when
you
they
take,
mix mosh it
them
together.
Yeah, but
yeah.
ADR is straight up. You're just replacing a line with
Oh,
another
okay.
line.
You know the Hugh Jackman ADR from the
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is that when they do big action sequences like that, they will have the actors come back into studios and revoice their lines to their
it's
footage,
clearer,
so it's
yeah.
clearer and they
Okay.
can understand what's going on.
There's the worst instance of that I thought is when Milo like slams him into the ground at one point, and you hear somebody as if they were like clearly like looking straight into a camera, like it's like I gotcha or something like that. Like,
Dude, there
it
was
not like it felt like somebody just like hit a clip. Like
Yeah.
What was the one where at Milo after he like swipes the doctor and he's laying there dying and what does he say?
He said you have to stop him or something
But
like
he's
that.
just like he's here. I'll be
It
the body.
looked like
I'll
dub-
do the body. You do the voice.
Okay. You have to stop him.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he barely moved his lips
bad.
at all.
It was bad.
There is honestly, I've watched a lot of dubbed Japanese Godzilla movies, and it looked like that. Like their mouths would stop moving, and the line would keep going.
So the first time I ever really took notice of ADR, Joe played me. He was like, "Oh, there's a secret video of Hugh Jackman jerking off. It's a secret video." He's like, "Yeah, they secretly recorded this video of him jerking off."
Jesus Christ.
That's actually him recording dialogue for the final act.
He's
of
like
Logan.
running through the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
like, you know,
That's like, I think I've seen that clip where
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
he's
and
in
the
the
best,
booth.
and I mean, like, we're all musicians here. The best way you capture sound with a microphone is the space that you recorded in. And ultimately, like, I get re-recording lines and mixing them to sound natural. They just bounced out raws and dropped them in.
There's
The
like,
funniest- like, that's all they
we have
did.
the complete like availability to do any kind of mixing and recreate any like fake audio environment, and they were just like record it on your iPhone, put it in the movie.
My favorite. Oh yeah. They were like Jared Leto. Just do it into.
Hey, you got an
suitcase.
iRig? I got an iPad.
Just do it into a suitcase in your hotel room and send it in. That was like the very first
Can
noise.
you shout into your
that-
phone, please?
The very first noise that he makes when he like transforms into like the vampire. It's just like a. It was like, oh, it's so bad. I just started laughing. It's just like.
And also, can we
Starts
talk about the
murdering
vampire
people.
transformation? How fucking lame. Like, American Werewolf in London set the standard for any transformation in a film. The fucking Van Helsing movie, as bad as it is, the werewolf transformations are visceral
cool.
because they're literally peeling their own skin off.
And they're
This
breaking
movie
bones
was like,
and reforming them.
I'm weak, and then I'm gone. Like, and that's it. They show no
They just did
transformation
Captain
at
America.
all. You know,
Super serum.
yeah. And you know, it's like, how come there was no like, and like his arm grows and like he's like, oh, and like his teeth are like, even From Dusk Till Dawn has a
This
better
is a
vampire
family
trans.
movie.
well, that's
Well, you
the
don't
other
make
thing,
a fucking
too.
family movie about a vampire.
Well, that's the problem I had with it.
unless
like,
it's
there
until
was-
what's it called? Dark Shadows. That's what it is.
there was
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
much, or Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania. Yeah.
There's so much like
Interview with a Vampire.
I understand that you can't like even you can't make this R because it's not gonna like R movies just don't do as well. This was like low PG-13. I was like, I've seen PG-13
Yeah.
movies that were like much more graphic. Than
Just
this.
watch.
I love that
Batman.
time that
I know.
That's a hard PG-13
That's a hard
movie.
I like that part where Milo was like, "What the frick?" That was great. That was
Dude,
great.
there's one part where they said, first of all, they made all the blood black,
Yeah.
which is
yeah,
something they
yeah.
do to get PG. Like,
Yeah.
I just saw the Scream trailer for Paramount Plus, and you know the scene where they raise the knife. You know, we talked about it on the show. It's full of blood. They just made it all black for the commercial. Either
Yeah.
way, though, the blood's all black, which
Made
is
it black
already
cherry
weird.
red.
Later in the first attack on the boat, right? Which, by the way, what a way to squander a vampire sequence. Like, you fucked that up. There's one part where he runs past someone and he slices their throat.
Oh, and you hear gurgling,
and you hear gurgling,
Yeah.
and there's just no blood or anything, no
Yeah.
cuts, no wounds. Like, the effects team just gave up. They were like, well,
They're just like,
you know,
hold your throat, but
yeah, they were.
pretend.
Well, they were
Yeah.
pretty much just like, well, Sony told us to take it out, so we just removed the layer. So now it's
Yeah.
just gonna stay like this. What ended up happening after that was Tyrese comes in and he goes, "Do you check the wounds on those bodies?" He's like, "They all have puncture wounds." I was just like, "Wait a minute," and I tap him and I go, And he goes, because like we both knew in that moment they're already fucking this up.
yeah.
Like they already can't keep it straight. Like they had a problem defining if the blue blood's gonna help him or not.
Yeah.
Which, by the way the drink the blood.
Yeah, I was about to say,
was
he's
up with
like,
the
He's like, he like slurped it.
like a
Jesus
go-gurt.
Christ.
It was
like
a go-gurt.
A bloody go-gurt.
funnel.
Yeah, and it's just like, why? Like, just it's everything is played to be so sincere and so. It would have been funny if Jared Leto was like in like a fucking like, I don't know, like some sort of nightgown with a thermos full of blood, and he's walking around going, what the fuck am I going to do about Matt Smith drinking his blood? You know what I mean? Like, have some fun with this idea for the love of God.
That's what's it called? The Matt Smith's character.
flask
He had the
of blood,
flask where he was just drinking blood.
Right.
That was at least funny.
That sequence of like him realizing that Matt Smith had.
But Matt Smith should be the serious one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he should be the one with it. Like, Matt Smith's trying to be like this, hey, I'm a hokey guy now.
Dancing
like,
around, like doing shit. It's just like, I mean, it's he understands it's like he's got his body and everything, but it's like you can't have him be like the serious attacking person and then like the like, ooh, look at my powers, feeling my body, like
Feeling my body.
We have to clip that out.
Look at my powers, feeling my body, feeling my body, feeling my body.
Look at my powers.
What was that song that was playing too when he was dancing? That was great.
it should have just been like do it again.
I don't know, but it was a good song.
Get
Either
Jiggy
way,
with
though,
It.
the dancing scene was a little bit too long.
It was
fine.
weird.
I mean, like, I'm not offended. That's the least offensive thing in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about literally the climax, and then we'll talk about post-credit scenes.
Nutbuster.
The Nutbuster.
Climax is absolutely atrocious. The action sequence in the subway with like the one cut where they're sliding down the escalators and everything. I actually said to Nick, I was like, the action is not bad.
It's not
here.
bad.
It's not
the
bad.
action wasn't bad. It
The
was kind of
third-
entertaining.
The climax though was the worst thing I've seen, and the worst action I've ever seen in a movie.
Yep.
It's literally like punch.
There is so much rubble.
Kick.
There's so much rubble, and like
It looked almost like in the Matrix, the second Matrix movie. Is that which one is that?
Reloaded.
Reloaded. I should know that. Matrix Reloaded. The Burly Brawl. It looked like that.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like, you know, when in Harry Potter when like the Dementors are fighting in the air and they're like kind of clashing and doing that.
Yeah.
It looked like that, and then I was like, when you do a slowdown shot, it should be like this is normal speed because they're moving so fast. I was like, you did a double slowdown
Yeah.
to just show them like
yeah, and that's the thing is like,
like that
because if they're moving that fast, they would be moving the same,
Normal
like the way the
speed.
like
Flash.
the Flash. But
Yeah.
I was just I was like, you took
yeah.
like a very high energy, high action sequence and you literally slowed it down for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Did Zack Snyder have anything to do with it?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
It's funny. I was watching it and I was just like, this is Zack Snyder.
It's so
This-
funny
this is what
because
Zack
I was
Snyder would
watching
do.
it and I was like, a part of me was like, well, at least they're trying to. And then I did your whole math and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, you know, Snyder might overindulge in slow motion, but at least it's visually like pleasing. There's things to
It's
look
cool.
at, pick
He
apart.
plans it.
He has a vision. He may not be able
There's
to tell
a
a
reason
story
for doing it.
Yeah, but he has a vision. Whereas I felt this was like there was no vision. Like it was
it was
just
just a cool
yeah,
effect.
yeah.
Cool
like
in quotes.
turn the slow mo up on this part of the slider right here. This one's great.
This one right here. This the one I want
That's
right
the
here.
one I want.
This what make it
This
slower.
movie, in editing, the director just turned into a hillbilly. It was like, "This the one I want right here."
What happened to him?
He just
Why
has
is Dan a Cajun now?
he just has skull in his mouth. This one right here. Yeah, make this one make it slower.
Yeah, pack a full U dinger.
So
That's
can we
not skull, but
can we
okay.
talk about the bats?
Okay, yeah, talk about the
Yeah.
bats because the bats are like they literally rip a sequence right out of Batman Begins.
The
And-
beeper thing.
Right, the whole beeper thing, but also the bats at the end of the movie is astronomically stupid because he gets bit by a Costa Rican bat, right? And somehow that means he's able to talk to the American bats too.
He can talk to all bats.
Well, yeah, he can talk to all bats, but it's also that like.
But
"These
that's
are my
so
brothers.
dumb.
I feel a kinship with
Like-
this bat."
That's a nitpick. That's a nitpick.
No. I think
No,
it's, I think it's
no.
a nitpick that he Deus Ex to fucking 4,000 bats to like come in
Why
and
didn't
then-
he just do that to start
it was
with?
dumb, but the fact that he can talk to different types of bats, I
No,
don't have
that
a problem.
That I'm
I
fine
don't have a
with,
problem
yeah.
with. The
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
that he was like, let me just call 400 bats to create a distraction while I stab this guy.
400,000 bats.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, and like here's the other
And how
thing
did they
too.
raise him from the dead? He was pretty much like
Yeah,
almost
they just
down.
lifted him up.
And he was just like, yes, my brothers, give me your spirit.
Camaraderie.
It's
Dude,
camaraderie.
it's just
yeah.
like it's that sequence in
It's his
BVS where
boys.
he falls down the hole and he raises up with the bats. Actually, that's symbolic, and this is just stupid.
This
Yeah.
is just dumb.
It served no point as opposed to being like, well, he got his shit kicked. I don't know how we're gonna have him beat Milo. Let's just do this. Like,
Yeah,
Bats.
Bat fist.
bats. Yeah, and then literally for him to fly out, his girlfriend wakes up, and like the thing is too.
His girlfriend bit his lip, right?
Yeah,
Bit
I
his
don't
lip,
understand
yeah.
that at
was-
all.
okay,
I just
so
want to make
I'll-
sure
I'll-
that yeah.
was there's several things with this. So when she cuts her hand on the can and then he like freaks out. Remember she cuts it feeding a cat?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He has a big problem with that. He has no problem around his mentor who is bleeding out on the stomach. He doesn't have like a, oh shit, I'm gonna need blood. But she does that as a way to be like, I'm gonna reinvigorate your like primal sense, so you're gonna eat, like you're gonna suck all my blood so then you can fight him. It's kind of like it's kind of like chumming the water.
That's stupid.
It's
Wait.
Okay.
That's why she bit his
That's
lip?
she bit his lip.
Wasn't she bleeding out?
Why
would she need to
yes,
bite his lip?
Exactly. So that too.
It's because Nick.
I thought that she did that specifically to get his.
You know
his
what would've been
vampire
cool?
No,
healing
she
abilities?
100% took that because there were 2 extra vials that of the vampire serum. Matt took one of them, or Milo took one of them, and she definitely took the other one too.
to become a vampire
To become
or
a
to
vampire,
kill a vampire.
To become a vampire. He made 3 of those because he becomes a vampire, and when he's leaving the boat,
He has
he
2.
takes 2.
So she had one.
She definitely.
It
took
wasn't.
another one.
It wasn't the drop of blood.
I don't think so, unless there's like, because it's.
Then why'd she bite his lip?
I think it was to like get him to
Chum the water.
Chum the water.
To give him a half chum.
Even though she was already impaled.
get him ready for the
Again,
nut
this is the
buster.
thing. This is the problem with the
I want you
movie.
to go into battle half charged.
half bricked up. Take this.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like
again,
it would have been
that's
cool
an
if
assumption
like.
I'm making based off of.
Okay, have you guys ever seen Blade?
Been a
This
while.
is a plot point from that movie where I can't remember if it's in Blade 1 or Blade 2 where
Blade Reloaded.
the whole thing about Blade is that he's a vampire. He has all of their strengths, none of their weaknesses, except that he has the thirst just like them. And I can't remember which movie it's in. I can't remember. It's got to be the first one. He bites his lover to get his energy back and to go after and like kill and like, kill the other vampires. And that moment makes so much sense in that movie because they dabble with the thirst and how it's a big part of his character and how like he drinks like, whatever blood, or he's got these injections that he does that are like almost like he has to like take a fucking mouth guard in and he'll like, it's like a
Right.
big deal throughout the whole movie. So when it's like, oh my God, the love interest, like he has to drain her blood to go into battle and like save the world, it would make sense.
It has impact.
It has impact, and it the emotions baked into it.
Not
This
here.
doesn't.
Nope.
The funny thing is, while I'm talking about Blade does have a deleted scene at the end of it that has Dr. Michael Morbius in it as a vampire, except they couldn't get the rights to him because Blade was New Line Cinema and Morbius was Sony. But they did shoot stuff with it. It does exist. There is another iteration of this character in live action. You can look at it
plays
online.
Morbius?
Oh, fuck me. I forget who. But it wasn't somebody big and famous, but it was somebody who was known at the time.
I was going to say Ryan Reynolds, but he was in those movies.
Yeah. Either way, though, Nick, let's talk about the post-credit scene because I know that's what you've been waiting for.
Is there anything else in the movie that we want to call out before we move on to post-credit?
Not
No.
really. I mean, like it's just whatever.
There-
So let's go for the
yeah,
post credits.
yeah,
No one's seen this past us. So
I had such tremendous goodwill for this movie. Like when it was over, I was like, "Wow, that was better than I was led to believe."
Mm-hmm.
And then the post-credits sequences happened, and I was like, "Fuck this movie! I hate this fucking movie."
They were bad.
Yeah,
They were bad.
So-
what did you hate about them?
all of it. I hated it all.
here's what I don't like about it. It's the fact that this movie was supposed to come out in early 2020, well before Spider-Man even went into production, and they featured Michael Keaton in the trailers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yet they have clearly altered whatever they were going to do to fit what happened in No Way Home, so they could kind of like set up their own like pseudo universe with like the characters from the MCU.
Yeah.
And like, what a fucking mess this was. Because first of all,
it's like when somebody gets bad plastic surgery and you're like, oh, fuck, you should have stopped while you were ahead.
Like you were fine.
I would laugh so hard if I saw
I went
Nick
up to somebody-
walked up to somebody with bad plastic surgery and was like, oh god, why'd you do that?
It's
Why
like,
would you do it?
There's like that threshold where there's like good plastic surgery, and that's Sony and Marvel having that little relationship with each other and borrowing characters, and we'll stick a little Venom in the MCU, like
little sprinkle here.
that's
little
good
dash
plastic
there.
surgery. Now they've been botched.
Full facelift.
They've been botched.
Oh man. So the first post-credit scene is you see this horrible effect where they're like, it's just like No Way Home.
It's just like
And there is a
Spider-Man.
purple rip in the sky.
It looked like it was taken out of the fucking Marvel What If. It looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And the best is like they put the Statue of Liberty in like the lower right hand corner, but like there's nothing going on. There's no carrot. It's just literally the New York skyline and this purple zipper
rift
just rips open. And then it cuts to this weird fucking angle of Mike, which by the way is 100% edited footage of Michael Keaton, like I guess like becoming like I tend to believe what actually happened is he buys his way out of prison or something. Like in the original cut of this, they have recut it to be like, oh, I guess I got thrown out of my universe in that weird climactic battle that the 3 Spider-Men were having, and now I'm here.
I don't remember Peter Parker, so now I'm in another universe.
Here's my deal, though. That's not how that works, though.
Nope.
It was everybody who knew who Peter Parker was Spider-Man is coming to their universe.
Yep.
Not people getting spit out of this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
so
Some funky magic.
And listen, how many times I gotta tell you
literally
guys?
just chalk it up to that's just funky magic.
How many times I gotta tell you guys that Sony is just like, yeah, we'll take a little bit of this,
They
take a little bit of that.
just do not give a fuck.
No,
They don't give a shit.
They don't care.
I also love like he was able to make the Vulture costume because of all of like the Ultron
Stark
parts,
Tech
right?
and the Ultron parts.
Which I'm assuming we're obviously in a different universe, so I'm just guessing none of that happened. So
Was it
where
all
the
Stark?
fuck does he make?
It's Stark and Ultron stuff.
Was there no alien?
No, not Ultron.
Like
Or
Chitauri.
Chitauri, sorry.
Chitauri
Okay.
and Stark
it was
stuff.
like
So he's got alien tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's able to construct a new suit out of
Yeah. And by the
hardware,
way,
like he went to Home Depot.
Yeah.
One, Michael Keaton.
Same thing that Morbius fixed the machine with.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton 100% isn't in that suit.
No, that's not him.
And number 2, wow. I hope they show this in film school for how not to write a scene. First of all, the clock on Morbius's car says 2:21 a.m. and it cuts to the evening. The sun is still out. And then when it cuts back inside of his car, it's nighttime.
And then he steps out.
And then he steps out of the car, and like, how does he know where to meet this guy? The
GPS.
police are looking for Morbius. How did Adrian Toomes track down Morbius? And then he says this weird line about like, he's like, I think you and I've been reading a lot about you. How?
Yeah,
In what?
He's
Like-
just like, I don't know what happened. I think Spider-Man had to do something with it.
Wait. Yeah.
I picked up your local New York Times.
Everything
and I
that you've
started
been
reading
saying
it.
has been pretty nitpicky until you reach the point where he's like, I think it has something to do with Spider-Man.
And then they cut to Morbius's face when they say Spider-Man, and there's no reaction. And I was like, does he even know who Spider-Man
No.
is?
Yeah.
He's like, I think a couple of guys like us should get together, start
And
a
then-
team, might be able to do some good. And it's
And then
just like,
Morbius says something like,
who talks like this?
do you
Not-
remember?
not-
It didn't
not
even
Adrian
sound like
Toomes.
Michael Keaton.
Not
it
Adrian
didn't
Toomes.
sound like Michael Keaton.
That was ADR.
Do you
by the
remember-
way.
do you
I know,
remember-
I know that, but
Yeah.
it literally didn't sound.
Well, it
like
had to
him.
be because Michael Keaton didn't come on set
Yeah,
that
'cause he
day.
wasn't on set
And
for that.
also, it's just a weird, like he just magically showed up in his prison cell.
And I
and
guess we gotta let
a
him out.
hearing will be
Yeah.
had for his innocence. And
which
it's
will
just
most likely lead to his innocence.
Was it
How?
was it
He doesn't
weird
belong
how
there.
he like it's definitely edited footage, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's like he appears in prison and then stares at himself in the mirror for like an awkward amount of time.
Yeah. Almost like he
How
didn't
does he know-
recognize himself.
and, like, here's the
like
other
almost
thing,
like he
too.
was like, I'm in a different body right now.
Adrian Toomes is not a bad guy. Adrian Toomes got fucked over by a billionaire.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, and then he had to do what he had to do for his family. Like his heart was in the right place, but he went about it the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
Like
same thing.
That's
with
what
Morbius.
makes the Vulture a compelling character. You know, he does it for his family. So the fact that he would like trade universes and be like, "That's right, I can be a fucking supervillain here, man. Check this place out." And then like
I have a second chance to
Yeah.
be a supervillain.
yeah, and instead of like maybe
Go run a construction company. You're good at that.
yeah, maybe it's just
Sell those
He
fucking
gets-
vulture suits.
Yeah.
He gets a second chance and he just opens up another construction company. I'm going to be on the straight and
It's
narrow.
just-
I'm
this
doing
time.
what I love.
it just doesn't make any sense for that
I'm a
character.
simple man and
to-
it's an honest living.
But they don't care about the MCU version of him.
I guess not.
What,
No,
what
they
the fuck do they care?
It's
I think
obvious
everything
they
you
don't care.
everything you should just chalk up to they don't give a shit.
They don't.
They're in it for the
they
cash grab.
saw okay. So there's an existing character that people like. Now we have Morbius, we have Venom, and that did okay. Now we're halfway to a Sinister Six.
What I don't like is that you have the MCU. You have this amazing piece of cinematic history for almost 15 years has been the king of the box office and maybe not the most compelling storytelling at points, but it's like watching a cinematic TV show. And in 2016, they lowered their standards and said, "Hey, Sony, we'll work with you to rebuild the Spider-Man brand, but we would like to use him for our movies." And they're like, "Okay, cool." They gave him an inch and they took a mile
Oh yeah.
because now Sony's making all of these movies that are like weirdly MCU adjacent, like they're
It
trying
even
to be in the
says
MCU.
in association with
yeah,
Marvel.
like they're
Well,
trying.
that I think they're just like that's a cloud.
that's the
thing.
old logo
Yeah.
before Marvel changed theirs.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh, it
the
was?
logo they give to
Oh,
all their
I didn't know that.
licensees, which is just Sony now.
So they've been using that for a while.
Oh, for every single one.
But
I didn't know that.
But I don't think it's like Marvel's like you have to put this in there. I think Sony's like we should put that on there.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's what I'm
100%
saying. Is
it.
that
Kinda-
I'm the MCU? Like Kevin Feige wants nothing to do with this shit.
Yeah.
And
blame
I
him.
think he sees opportunities to get his universe where he needs it to be. Like, as stupid as it was, like that whole sequence in Venom, like where he goes from one universe to another, that was all Marvel. That was all Kevin Feige and John Watts. They get him over there to bring the symbiote there because remember he goes back and the symbiote falls off. And nobody ever talks about the No Way Home because like of all the three Spider-Man, but the symbiote is now in the MCU and like we'll see what that leads towards. But either way,
Do you
he
think
goes
that-
back and they use that to their advantage. Now they have that, but that was with his blessing. Like he did that. All these other teams are like I said, using these weird MCU adjacent rules where it's like, we're not going to definitively say we're in the MCU. We're just going to do all these things that like kind of hint towards it and let the fans think so they can have their own headcanon. Like that's what it's
when
like.
you get like a knockoff piece of merchandise, like they're like, yeah, it's
like when you walk out of Ghost in Newark, New Jersey on February 22nd, and they got shirts for $35 a pop that are these nice like cotton shirts. Or you
Gildan
go outside
brands.
and you got an $8 Fruit of the Loom.
Yep.
Just, he already did most of the work. It's $5. Why not?
Oh, it's the Warped Tour special. It's the parking lot Warped Tour
yeah,
special.
exactly.
Oh man.
I'll take 3.
Give me them.
So, overall, Morbius is a piece of shit. That being said, I
it's
do
not
have some
great.
questions from people that
Okay,
that
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
ask us.
While you're pulling that up, so I will say, the Rotten Tomato score last I checked, it was 15 critical review, 15%, and the fan score was 54 to 56. I
Okay.
would say split the difference. I'd give it like a 35.
A 35. So, like
it's
a
still a failing grade.
3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You give it.
I gave it a 2 on my review.
Which
and
I
stand by
understand
that.
why, but I definitely don't think it was like the biggest piece of garbage that I've ever seen. That's still Justice League, the theatrical cut, but it was.
Yeah, I would have given it.
There
a
are parts
1
of it that I like.
I'd give it a 3.
I want to see the,
Snyder cut.
full Snyder cut of it. What are you rating it?
Oh, dude, this is a fucking 10 out of 10 for me. I went in expecting a piece of shit, and I got one.
I will be Morbius for Halloween.
It's true. I mean, how often do you have two movies about, dudes who are bats a month apart, and one is the new standard, and one is how did
The
this
new
even
Marvel
get
legend.
here? Yeah,
And one is 20 years too late.
and a new Marvel legend arrives.
Which is
Marvel
technically
doesn't
true.
say that about themselves.
I
Their work
saw-
speaks
I
for
saw-
themselves.
I saw a tweet that was Darth Maul, and it was one half of the lightsaber, and it was like,
I would,
yeah.
we just,
yeah. So fucking funny. Yeah, worst Marvel.
Worst DC movie, worst Marvel movie. Jared Leto.
So good.
You
I
guys
don't know.
talk about
I give it like a 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd
All
give it
right.
like a 3.
Talk some questions. What do we?
Oh yeah. Some questions. So
Already forgot.
first one that I got is from Mark Piltz. He says, "How was this so bad? What seems to be the main point of failure on this?"
Is there one?
Is there
Editing.
one?
Editing.
I mean,
yeah.
if you had to
Editing is
name one,
big.
editing is big, but then I'd also say the screenplay and direction is pretty shit too.
I would say editing. I think if that includes like studio interference, and
Yeah.
like that's probably number one.
It could be studio interference. It could also be poor directing where they didn't have the material. Sometimes
think-
you're just getting something and it's like we don't have the right material.
Hey,
to
listen,
do
they
this.
could have fucking did this whole thing honestly and earnestly, and they put the assembly cut together, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then they
Yeah.
hacked it down to 90 minutes, and they shoved it out the door.
Yes.
It could have been any one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Mahano.
Hey.
He messaged me instead of
Teofilo.
writing a question and said, "That bad?"
yes,
and so-
yes, pretty
Answer
bad.
I
that.
told him
Yeah.
that. I told him it was pretty bad, and then his response was, "Any chance he meets Blade?" I didn't make him wait, but I'll just say it again here. Not a chance.
No.
I'm sure
John.
I'm sure they'll try though. I'm sure they'll be like, "Well, he was across the street when Blade was like robbing the liquor store or something." I don't know why Blade would rob a liquor store,
I think it
but
was that Blade guy had something to do with it.
that thing out in Atlanta. I don't know, like, or he's in London, right?
Yeah.
Then he said he'll catch it when it's streaming. Okay, cool.
John, don't bother.
Somebody messaged me on the actual Press Any Key account too. I got it right
Somebody
here.
check us out on socials.
Why did you see it? Do you watch this?
We didn't have a choice.
We didn't have a choice.
We didn't have a choice. We had
Look,
to see
we
it.
had to watch Space Jam 2. We have to
Exactly.
watch Morbius.
We've also how many movies have we gone where it started with a Morbius trailer? You bet I'm gonna
2
go see
years.
this movie.
2 years of
that has been
preparation.
shoved down my throat.
We made a blood pact with the gods, and we are now obligated to see every terrible fucking movie.
everything that Jared Leto
I
puts
really
out.
love the meme that's going around right now where Goku and Vegeta are like, "Let's go fight somewhere empty," and then it's them in a movie
Morbius
theater, and
theater.
Morbius is on the screen.
Made 40 million.
Can we play the Leto Watch drop again, just because we
Yeah,
gotta
let's
get
take
some
it.
bang
Let's-
for our
We'll
buck.
close it out with
We'll
Leto
close
Watch.
it out with Let Her Watch, and then we'll do clip of the week.
All right.
It's Leto Watch.
So hard when
do
you
you
see
see?
the
when I
animation.
actually see what it is.
All right, yeah. Let's do clip of the week.
How much am I going to hear Joe's voice?
I was gonna say we just blew our entire we have 2 songs.
That's our Joe library.
You can already see where this is going.
Have you seen this one, Mike?
No, but I can see where this is going.
Oh God.
So this video was called "Taking Strong Drugs."
Oh.
I didn't see fire.
That's a man, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's got to do something about that.
This is just cyberpunk and it's glitching.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is all in a video game.
Someone. Oh my God.
Get them to
It'll be like, "I'll see you later."
Christ. It's like I can't
Alright,
deal
so
with this.
There's this.
Have it open in the right thing because I still see the Ghostbusters.
Oh no!
Oh.
Darn.
Oh.
I was confused.
Wait, do you still see it?
It might,
Yeah.
Fix it live.
it might be because it's a different desktop because you have it full screen like that.
No.
No?
That's not the reason why. I know what happened.
Is it because you touch yourself at night?
No. No, that's not it.
We'll figure it out. But what it
Not
is,
at all.
it's this man. I'm guessing it's an
It's a
individual
person.
who is
It's the
naked
it's
in
the
an,
capture card.
who's naked in an
Oh.
alley, and their hair is on fire, and they're kind of like nonchalantly
Just-
walking in a circle
They're
about
dancing.
Dude, they're chilling.
Did we mention
dancing.
that they're in
just
their
vibing.
underwear?
And
He's
it's
just vibing.
It's shot by this dude
Look,
who's
he's
riding
dancing.
by.
Look, he's dancing.
Shot by this dude riding by on
somebody
his
throws
scooter.
like a couple singles.
Hey,
street performer.
it's a pyro street performer.
This dude's on a scooter riding by, like does a double take,
Yeah.
stops,
And then goes on with his day.
And people are like honking at him, like, "Get out of the street,
Yeah.
dude!
Get
Nothing
out
to
of the
see
street."
here."
Are his eyes on fire? Like, Jesus Christ, he has fire coming out of his. He also looks fake.
Yeah.
He looks like a fake human being.
Oh my.
He might be,
That's-
dude. You
that's
never know with Hollywood
terrifying.
special effects. This might be all an elaborate viral marketing.
It could.
We'll,
for the
we'll-
Human Torch.
We'll throw this up on the socials as usual.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're still good, right? Like everything else. It's I'm telling you, it's the capture card to the.
Check it out on
PC.
our Instagram.
Damn. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to go on Instagram.
we'll put it
and
on
find out.
Instagram. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
It'll be-
This
everyone
is a
will love it.
wild one too, man. My fucking god, huh?
This is one of the ones where
I
it
was-
feels like you're just like I don't.
I
I don't
also
know how to
love
process
this. I love where he's just like,
Yeah.
you know, and then like
And people.
honking.
People
him,
are
he's
honking
like,
at him.
Ah, shit.
All right, I get.
He gets out of here.
And then like he's driving away, like that was weird. It just keeps going.
He gets home and be like, he'll be like, Mom, I saw the weirdest thing on the way home from school today.
You're never gonna believe this. Monday.
He was
Sundays.
this
Shout
man's
out to
head
the
was
weekday.
on
Shout out.
fire. All
His
right,
eyes.
so
Not even making a sound
with that
No,
said,
just vibing.
with that said,
in his lane.
I guess we'll have to. We will also post this picture tomorrow since you're not getting a current laptop feed from me. We have a picture for Danny.
What?
What
What you
Because
got?
today, Danny, why don't you tell everybody what's going on?
So to the audience, this
Yeah.
is my final show on Press Any Key.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Yeah, I told the crew there was one day after the show, Pat tried to kiss me, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It was a little weird. No, Pat's a great guy. No,
I love Pat's kisses.
it's time for me to move on, and
Starting your own podcast.
check out Press One Key. But no, it's I unfortunately with work and everything, things are just getting a little busy. So
You don't want to delve into. that
No,
at
we're not
all?
gonna delve into
You
the.
don't want to
well,
tell anyone because that's a pretty sweet deal.
Dan's on a big boy now.
It's
my-
a good reason
my-
to leave, and the people who listen to this show would definitely be interested to hear why.
Yeah, so I work for Discovery Inc., Discovery Communications, and we are buying Warner Brothers. We're buying Warner Brothers outright,
And you're canceling all superhero movies.
and we're done with it. But no, I can't. It's weird for me to be on this show when we're talking about Warner properties, talking about Disney stuff that is literally now a competitor of my company.
Which
Yeah,
you was
no,
just
I mean, like, I thought it- I
I
thought
am
it would-
contractually obligated to
Yeah.
say that this film was fantastic.
Yeah,
and they
Yeah.
it
should-
was so
No,
good, and I
I-
loved every second.
I thought it was at least cool to let people know who listen to this show that you were leaving because you were doing something definitely better, not because this sucked.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I'd like
saying
to
what-
clarify.
Like I just needed that
Yeah.
on record.
No, I would love to stay on the show. I would love to stay on the show, but unfortunately, I can't, and I have this.
And that 100% will be going on the socials. I wish the fucking capture card wasn't fucking up
you
right
can,
now.
can you hold it to like a camera so they can?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
I'll do it to this one. If you can see
in
that.
memoriam,
In
casual Dan.
So yeah.
Episodes 18
So,
through 69.
With that said, thanks so much for
Thanks
18
for
to
having me.
69.
Hey, I'm glad I got to end it on 69.
You
though.
know?
I am glad.
Hey, and
52
listen,
episodes.
if Warner's gets sold again, buddy, you can come right on
Always
back.
come right back.
You know?
Unless
Chair's always open, baby.
Disney buys it, and then I can literally talk
Oh my
about nothing.
God, that would be sick. Oh my God, wait, no, you wouldn't be
That's
able to come
called a
back
big
at all.
old
no,
monopoly.
I definitely
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to come back. No, that would be a monopoly
So,
for a lot of
Can we
reasons.
just get our own show on Discovery?
Yeah,
you got it.
I'll talk
Okay.
to him.
Wait,
about
don't
it.
you
worry.
have? I'm sure Discovery at some levels into podcasting. Right?
Yeah, we're dabbling into it. We're just starting. It's funny enough. I don't work. Food Network, I think, is working on a couple podcasts or something. But no, I literally.
Yeah,
but
well, they know who
we're-
to call if they need it.
We're dabbling. We're dabbling in
All right.
it. So I'll let
Work
y'all know.
speaks for itself. So
But-
with that said, thanks so much. Thanks
Thank
you
you.
guys.
It's been great.
Next week it'll just be the four of us. Jess will finally get a mic all the time.
Andrew Boxman will be
There
happy
we
to
go.
know.
There we go.
We're just gonna be rolling as a four piece from here on out, and yeah, I guess
Danny,
what's next week?
you're dead to us.
Pretty much. Yeah. I wish
We're
you
gonna
guys
take
the
him-
best of luck.
We're gonna take him out back and just
I really don't like that.
All right. Well, that was his words, not mine. So with that said, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.